Welcome to Tampa. We are at Raymond James Stadium. It's the 2018 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl, and that means some of the best high school talent in America is here tonight. I am Rick Sassone, along with Ron Hahn. And Ron, here we are again. It's another year. Great time to be here.
Yeah, another year. It's, the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. It's all about showcasing individual talent and to really get an opportunity to get out there and compete with somebody across from you. But more important than that, it's a great night to get out and play the greatest game in America, high school football.
Yeah, and some of the best talent in America is here, and we got two showcase players, one from the north and one from the south tonight. And these guys are really, they can play. Kenny Churchwell, 6'1", 185, Mountain Point High School. He's definitely going to be playing in the Pac-12, Ron.
Yeah, I'd love to see those tall defensive backs. Those guys can, even if they are fast, they can even be faster by being a tall guy.
You know, and then you can't say enough about the South squads. Jeremiah Salam. Jeremiah, 6 foot 175, out of Frostproof here in Florida. And this kid, I'm talking 20 Division I offers. Arizona, FAU, Indiana, UNC, Notre Dame, Ohio State. The list goes on. And one's right here in the backyard, University of South Florida.
Well, one thing we don't have any shortage of is skilled players down here in Florida, and he's absolutely one of the best.
That's right, Ron, and I'll tell you, what a great night to be here. I'm very excited. A little cool as it goes in Tampa. It's about 50 degrees right now, but I'll tell you what, it feels like football, and we got kickoff coming up here in a few minutes, and the North has won the toss. And Ron, I'll tell you, this is our third year doing the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. It's gotten better every year.
Oh, absolutely. You know, this is a great venue. This is one of the best venues that you can be in for one of these type of games, and certainly probably the best one that we have a chance to be at.
Well, I'll tell you, the Super Bowl's coming back here. We didn't have this game last year because of the National Collegiate Football Championship. With the Clemson Tigers won here. So it's really exciting for these kids. You saw them when they came out of the tunnel with their video cameras, really excited to be playing in such an NFL stadium.
Yeah, and this is one of the best, too. You know, I mean, it's state-of-the-art. It's a beautiful facility. It's just a great experience to be able to walk around here and get a chance to play football one more time on such a big stage.
So the North won the toss, and they will receive. And teeing the ball up on the 35-yard line, Javin Rice out of Beelin Jesuit, and he is a Vanderbilt commit, so he's going to go to Vanderbilt to play. And back deep to receive, we have the North team.
Now, one of the things that we need to point out is that this game being a little bit different than high school football. In high school football, they're not allowed to bring the kickoffs or punts out of the end zone. In a game like this, they play by collegiate rules where they're able to bring the ball out of the end zone, which can be a huge factor for both the kickers, for the kickoff team, as well as the return guys, because you get more opportunities to return the ball than they would have in a regular high school game. And
there's the kick, and it's going to be Diago Hunter taking it straight ahead, gets it out over the 20. And our sideline reporter tonight, Mercedes Owens. Hi, Mercedes.
The entire game, talking to players from both the North and South teams about the Blue-Gray football experience and the 2 days leading up to tonight's game. So we'll have some fun, see some good football, and I'm excited for the rest of the night.
Great. Look forward to hearing from you, Mercedes. So the North takes over the 25-yard line. Quarterback is Luke Bussell, 6'1", 190, Greenbrier Christian Academy.
Right off the bat, one of the things that you have to notice is that these guys have only been able to practice together for a couple of days, and to be able to put together an offensive and a defensive scheme says a lot about the coaching staffs and the players and the commitment to success that they have for being here.
So Brody Smith got the carry and was stacked up for a loss. So it's going to bring up, it looks like about a 2nd and 12. So the North, not the way you want to start the game with a 2-yard loss.
Well, one of the things about high school football or football at any level for that matter, the offensive line play is probably one of the toughest things to teach. It's one of the toughest things to do, and it's something that usually gets better or worse for that matter over the course of a game. So I'm not surprised.
Smith gets the carry again and puts the ball on the ground. The South thinks they have it. Sorry to interrupt you, Ron, but it was a fumble.
Oh, geez. Yeah, if that wasn't a fumble, it would have been another tackle for a loss, it looked like to me.
I know, but North looked like they're lucky to get back on it.
well, we'll see what
Bring up a
happens.
third and 16 now.
Yeah. Well, now we'll get to see what the quarterback and the receivers and the other skill guys are made of here. I'd look for a screen, maybe, or a draw. Those things are easily set up as far as practice time, and they can be hard to defend, especially with a defense that hasn't played together a whole lot.
Let's see what the North squad could dial up. Kind of a pistol-looking formation, and we got movement here.
Well, that's a great play right there. 5 yards every time.
Is it going to go against the South? So we wait. And it is. Offsides against the South. And big number, Marvian Field, 6'2", 285, got moving forward and couldn't get stopped there. So,
well, his job should be, to watch the ball, man. Just you got to get off quick. You got to be a quick twitch guy, but understand the situation there. That they're going to come up, they're going to hard count you, they're going to try to get you to jump.
So let's see what the North offense can come up in the long situation here, 3rd and long. Bustle's going to throw out here. The pass is complete on the inside, banging around, and the ball's loose again.
Little screen pass there, a little slip screen to the outside with the outside receiver.
Russell Brown came in and took the slip screen, but that's not going to be enough. So we're going to see the first of Pearson Cook will be kicking deep.
Special teams play is so important at every level of football, but in an all-star game, it's something that can make or break you because, over the course of a season, when you're playing with your regular team, you're used to running on the field during kickoffs and punts and kickoff returns and punt returns and things like that. Here at an all-star game, you don't have the amount of time that you need for preparation to really put these schemes in and do well. So how they play on special teams can really play out how the game's going to go.
So Cook gets a leg in it, and that ball's going to be muffed by Blake McPherson, and it's all the way back. The ball's loose, and it looks like the North is going to come up with it. And there's a big special teams play on cue, Ron Hahn. You said it. It's tough to get the special teams together.
Well, I think that these guys probably haven't caught a ball like that, and like I said, they haven't had a lot of chance to practice and really work on some of these finer skills. And I'm assuming that this guy's probably returned a few kicks or punts in his life, but still, you're standing back there for the first time in probably a month or two on a big stage with a lot of distractions. It's understandable, unacceptable, but it's understandable that type of thing can happen.
And Pearson Cook got a good leg in that. I was talking to him before the game. He was dancing. AC/DC was playing over the loudspeaker, and I said, "Do you even know who that is?" He goes, "I believe it's AC/DC."
Well, it was the remix, so that's probably why I know it.
Oh, the remix.
If it would have been the original from the early 80s, it might have been a different story.
So here's a 1st and goal for the North. And in at quarterback is the big fella out of Lakeland, Kavaris Thomas. Thomas gives straight ahead, and Sean Doyle bangs ahead. Gets closer, got a couple yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd and short.
Well, you just got to keep running the ball here if you want to score. They've down to about the 2-yard line. Just keep driving, moving it ahead, run between the tackles.
So it looks like it's going to be a little over a yard for the North with 2nd down. And Kavaris Thomas right here out of Lakeland Dreadnought, 6'4", 240 at quarterback. Maybe he'll sneak it. He does. And he's in for the touchdown, I think. Maybe not.
Pretty close.
Yeah, there he is.
I had a chance to watch him play in the playoffs this year. Play Wiregrass Ranch in I want to say the 2nd round of the playoffs in the FHSAA playoffs this year. And I'll tell you what, those Lakeland Dreadnoughts, they put together a great program out there. I mean, they won that game by a lot.
Well, Frank Castle, very impressive coach. He's been there for years. He has the stadium named after him, the Lakeland Dreadnoughts. So here's Barrett Pickering to try the extra point, and Barrett is going to Nebraska out of Hoover High in Alabama. So the kick is up, and it's drilled through. So the North takes advantage of a special teams blunder. 7-0, they lead on the board here from Tampa. Back live here at Raymond James Stadium, and the North leads now 7-0, Ron. And real quick, I got to make Bill Castle is the coach of Lakeland Dreadnoughts. I think Frank Castle was the punisher. So here we go. Pickering's going to get a leg into it. It's a good kick. It's returnable. It's going to be Johnny Ford. Ford gets it up to the 20, breaks it outside. Ford's got a lane. Ford's down the sidelines to the 40, crosses the 50, puts a move on. Look at that move. Look at that move, and he's still on his feet. And there's Johnny Ford, and he's excited because Johnny Ford is going to be playing football right here in the stadium for the USF Bulls.
Nice. It's good to see these guys stay around here. You got to love the hometown team. Plays right here in Raymond James too.
Well, great football intelligence here, picking up his blockers and getting to the outside, gets a nice block. They had the return set up. And then watch this little nifty move to get a few extra yards there, Ron. Boy, I'm almost over 10. Ball came out at the end, but he was down.
Churchwell there, you could see a smart football player, what he did right there at the end of the tackle. He came in from behind to try to rip the ball right out. And that's something you could definitely coach, but that's something that's instinctual. He was going for the ball right from the start.
So the South gets their first try on offense. Toby Nolan is in at quarterback. Nolan's going to hand the ball off straight ahead. Some positive yardage there on first down. So after the big kickoff return, they're moving the ball forward. I think it was Gavin Kane on the carry.
Yeah, they want to get those chains moving forward. They can establish the run, especially early on here. To really wear down that defensive line, they'll have a much better opportunity to do some different things throughout the game.
So here's the second down play now. There's Kane again, and he's wrapped up and thrown down for a loss.
Well, it looks to me that they're trying to run a zone scheme, and that's something that you really see throughout most levels of football at this point, with some sort of zone read action there. The challenge at doing it in a game situation like this is that not having the time for preparation to be able to run those plays, to be able to really mesh with your backs, for the offensive line to be able to really make that zone scheme work. And honestly, on defense, in a game like this, these guys are really geeked up. They're ready to go. They're coming off the edge. They're not playing necessarily assignment football. They're just getting after people right from the start.
Here's Montgomery, who's going to keep it straight ahead, and he got back just past the original line of scrimmage. So that last play was the tackle was made by Noah Palmer. Interesting about Palmer, I know he's a commit to Pittsburgh, had 83 tackles on the year at Thomas Jefferson High School, but little undersized, 6'4", 225. There's Palmer right there. He's got to be quick.
Yeah, well, Coach Narduzzi up there at Pitt, they do some great things as far as, he was the defensive coordinator at Michigan State. I've had a chance to get to know some of the guys on their staff a little bit, and they're going to want guys that can run. If you can't run, you can't play defense for them.
So Javin Rice going to try a long field goal, 49-yarder. And the kick is up, low line drive, and it's no good. So the North will take over. Kind of wasted the long kickoff return by Johnny Ford as they got a positive play on first down, but then they couldn't move it after that. A couple miscues, maybe a missed handoff there that didn't go quite well, and you're behind the sticks and you try a long field goal attempt and you're turning the ball over.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, though. He really powered through that kick. It wasn't the highest kick in the world, but it had almost the distance.
Well, here it is. It still had a chance for the longest time. It's one of those
low
line
10 feet off the ground.
One of those drives you want to try to keep down in the wind when you're playing golf. That's what it was like, and I thought it was going to get there.
Well, if it was me playing golf, it would have bounced along the grass the whole way and then missed the stadium.
So that quarterback, there's the ball's on the ground. He picks it up and throws, and it's intercepted. So the big interception by number 37, Cameron Howitt. And I'll tell you, I met Cameron Howitt yesterday, or this morning actually, at the hotel. He had 3 interceptions on the year, and he's a really active defensive back. He had 40 tackles. And here's Cross Wilkinson, the quarterback. Play was kind of doomed from the start, had pressure, and probably shouldn't have thrown it, Ron.
Yeah, when one of those, you probably just want to eat it or just try to run with it. He never got a real good handle on the ball. It hit him in the hands. It should have been a good play. If you're going to play that position, you got to make those plays.
Do you think sometimes, Ron, when you're in the shotgun, the quarterback kind of looks and tries to look at the defense and not paying attention to the ball sometimes?
Well, depending on the system and the level that you're at, a lot of times those guys, they don't want the quarterback looking at anything but the defense. They don't want them watching the ball coming out from underneath the center. They need to be able to look at the defense, to analyze the play, to be able to get the ball out as quickly as possible. So that's something those guys are going to have to learn.
Little high snap. Nolan makes the throw. It's complete on the near side, stays in bounds. And we're going to go down to the sidelines. Mercedes.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Noah Palmer out of Pittsburgh, so he's thinking this weather isn't so bad. I'm freezing. But Noah, you're staying close to home next year. Tell us where you committed.
I committed to the University of Pittsburgh.
And what made your decision there?
The coaching staff definitely, and being close to home to my family. It's a great atmosphere down there. Coach Narduzzi's building something great. I want to be a part of it, bring home a national championship.
Awesome. I mean, that sounds like a solid plan to me. Now, talk about the blue-gray football experience so far. It's just a couple of days. People don't realize you have to throw this together pretty quickly. How's it been for you?
It's a lot of preparation. You got to listen up every practice. It's a lot of work, but, I mean, look at the atmosphere. It's great out here, so you got to come ready to play, and you got to show your stuff.
And he said it's perfect weather. I just can't get over that. Well, Noah, best of luck to you out there, guys. We'll take it back to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like a summer day in Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Mercedes. Yeah, and right on point, Noah Palmer, there we were talking about it. And, at 225 with the speed, it probably bulk him up quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, 6'4", you can carry a lot of weight. You could be a 250-pounder. And it depends on what they want to do with him, but it's more important that you can run.
So Norland takes the snap, little play action, throws out, pass is complete. Positive yards for a first down, so the North moving the sticks.
Well, the last couple plays, they've really tried to integrate that quick game, that quick passing game in there. Snap it, throw. Snap, throw. Regardless of where you're at offensive line-wise, regardless of where you're at in terms of run game, if you can take the snap, get the ball out as quickly as possible, quarterback's not going to take a hit. Chances are you're not going to have a negative play on that.
So Ardmore, Oklahoma, Braden Vance made the first down reception, and the South is in business, looking to drive the ball here, trying to get in the red zone, tie this game up. And there's a handoff, good positive run out over the 20. Johnny Ford on the carry.
Well, now it's starting to pop a little bit there because they're running just traditional inside zone where the fullback, they're lined up in a split back formation out of shotgun. Number 9 is coming to kick the backside defensive end, and the running back forward. All he's doing is he's going to read that linebacker to see if he's going to step hard over the bubble, and if he does, he's going to work backside B gap. If he stays backside, he's going to continue right behind those big hog mollies and try to pick up some positive yards. But that's a typical well-run inside zone run play.
There's a throw, and the pass is incomplete. So Norland threw incomplete. So intended for Vance. On the coverage is number 11, Gabe Collins Green, out of Southport High School, played for the Cardinals in the state of Indiana. So 3rd and short here. What are you thinking, Ron? A run, try to get the first down?
I'm thinking hard count. Again, these defensive linemen, they're going to be geeked up.
And there's Ford wrapped up in the backfield, and it's going to be 4th down.
Oh, I could have been more wrong. That was a super quick count. They wanted to get up to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball. I think that's one of those situations. It's early in the game. Take the hard count. If you don't like the play you've got, call a timeout. What do you stand to lose in that situation? I mean, honestly, I'll tell you what. If you've got a great kicker, which obviously they do in this game right here, I come back out, I take a hard count, and if I don't get what I want, I'll just take the penalty and kick the football.
So 38-yard attempt by Javin Rice right in the middle of the field. The long snapper is Cade Long. He's going to Maryland. And there's the kick. I think that one's good. It is. So we got a 7-3 game here at Raymond James Stadium. So the South took advantage, at least got the 3 points. 7-3. We'll be right back here in Tampa. Welcome back to one of the crown jewels of the National Football League, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. 7-3 is our score. The North leads, and the North will get the ball after the field goal by Javin Rice of the South squad, and he will tee the ball up to kick off. Back deep, Diago Hunter. So Hunter stands around the 2-yard line, and Hunter Schoenig is around the 10. So 2 guys back.
Well, so far we've had 2 pretty decent returns. One really long one and one about 26-yarder.
A short kick. It's going to be Hunter on the 9. Hunter straight up looks a block. Nifty little spin there by Hunter.
Yeah, one thing that I will say is his wedge set up over on the far hash from where he caught the ball. Now, you know, I'm a special teams guy. I've coached special teams almost my entire coaching career. And what I will say, what I tell those return guys, if you want to take it outside that you're blocking, that's on you, buddy. But you better get your butt back up in there in that wedge right there, because that's where all your friends are at. That's where all your help is going to be. And he decided to take it outside on that.
So 1st and 10 on their own 25. Cross Wilkinson is the quarterback. Wilkinson hands off straight ahead. Brody Smith on the carry.
Well, I think they're doing something a little different, you know, formationally. Both teams are basically lining up in this 2-back set with out of shotgun, which is something that's very in vogue in football these days. Now, in that particular play right there, I think they might be setting something else up down the road, because there was a slight variation in that formation where now all of a sudden the fullback was outside the formation where it was almost a trips look, but he was still able to play a part in the blocking scheme.
There's a handoff. Looks like Schoenig straight ahead. So, you know, stress how important it is to pick up 5 yards on 1st down. 2nd and 5, it's a very manageable down.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, you want to get to the down and distance situations where the defense doesn't know what's going to happen. You want 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4, because you get 2 opportunities to essentially run what you want to run. So if you want to take a chance, that's a good opportunity to do that, because it's hard to game plan for those situations if the offensive coach is doing a good job of mixing things up.
So Wilkinson, a Toledo commit out of Wheeling Park, West Virginia, is going to throw it incomplete. The intended receiver was number 22, Russell Brown, and it was incomplete.
He was looking for a little laundry on that play. I'm not so sure he was wrong. They were pretty aggressive there with him as the ball was in the air. Now, one of the things that I think people get a little bit confused about with high school football is, in college football for that matter, is it's not the NFL. There is no 5-yard rule. If the ball is not in the air, it's not defensive pass interference. It might be holding, but it's not defensive pass interference.
So Pearson Cook going to be in to boot the ball away. Hits it. No punt. It's going to bounce. Trying to get to the outside is Johnny Ford. And Johnny Ford's going to go the other way. And Johnny Ford's going to go down right about the 25-yard line.
Well, I'll give it to him. He's tough. You know, with the punt game, return game, if you have an opportunity to field the ball in the air, that's what you want. One of the rules that I've always had: no ball touches the ground. No ball ever touches the ground, because if you do, a couple of things can happen, and usually both of them are bad. One, you either lose a big chunk of yards in terms of field position, or the ball takes a funny bounce and you give the ball back up again. He was fortunate he came up with the ball, though.
So Johnny Ford down in Miami had 13 rushing touchdowns, 8 yards per carry he averaged, rushed for just under 1,000 yards, and he's going to be playing here for Charlie Strong in the USF Bulls.
Oh, that's awesome. If he's averaging 8 yards a carry, how do you only have 1,300 yards, or 13 touchdowns, rather? Feed him. Give him the ball,
man. They weren't giving him enough. That's exactly what I was thinking. They weren't giving him the ball enough. So we had there's some laundry on the field, and
these pesky guys in the striped suits, they just want to get involved.
Coaches love those guys, don't you, Ron?
Yeah, they're a challenge.
That's what they say about you. I used to do that. I did that for 15 years, officiating. I won every game. That's what's great about it.
Can't lose.
Practice is a lot easier.
Yep, show up.
So look at this formation, kind of a pistol shotgun inside handoff stacked right up.
Well, again, that's another variation on the formation. So far you've seen 2 or 3 variations where you've had true split back out of shotgun, where the 2 backs are in line with each other, and out of those formations you're seeing mostly inside zone. You've also seen a formation where the fullback is lined up slightly outside, and on that play they ran a variation of inside zone where that fullback cut inside and blocked the inside linebacker. Now I think they're setting something up, and on that play the fullback was in line with the quarterback, and the halfback was lined up back behind the quarterback, and they ran a fake toss with a trap back underneath.
So Tyler Chase Walker makes the catch. Tackle Zane Tilson and Eric Roy brought him down, so no yardage there. So back-to-back plays for Tyler Chase Walker out of Southeast Bullock High in Georgia. Didn't get anywhere, so it's going to bring up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 16. And here's one of those plays where you probably know they're going to pass, Ron, huh?
You know,
or run and give it up and punt the ball.
Well, I think we've already seen the screen today. I think we'll probably see a draw at some point. You know, passing game is one of those things that takes a long time to really get to work. So
and there it goes. Chase Walker again, Tyler Chase Walker. Good run, but it's going to be behind the stick, and they're going to have to kick it away. So a safe play, Ron, there?
Yeah, probably a little too safe. But, I mean, they're putting themselves in a position to punt the ball away. You want to end every drive with a kick if you can, and that's certainly what they're going to do here.
So in the kick, Jason Pierce is here to kick the ball. 4th down, so 7-3. We're waiting. Is there some kind of timeout on the field, Ron? What are they doing?
Well, I think they're having a little bit of a substitution issue. Yeah, that seems, or
which is understandable.
It was an equipment issue. It was an equipment issue.
Okay.
I don't, you know, here's the thing that these guys, that's a big challenge at these events is at any level of football is getting the right personnel on the field. Well, these guys, they're only getting 2 days of practice, so you might only get 20 minutes of special teams practice to cover every single special team. So getting the right personnel on the field out of a group of kids where the coaches.
And what a move by Diego Hunter. Sorry, Ron, but boy, that move. Look, he's still on his feet, Diego Hunter. And across the 30. So we've seen some special teams play tonight.
Yeah, well, great special teams.
It's 7-3. North leads, and they got a chance to tack more on when we come back here from Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Welcome back to Tampa. Rick Sasson along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes Owens. And the North leads 7-3. And after a good kickoff return by Diego Hunter, a good punt return, I should say.
Well, he put a nice move on there to set the thing in motion. And
right there,
just kept going. Just kept going. Great leg drive. Great leg drive. And, you know, you can't say enough about the guys blocking either, because that's the other part of the play.
So 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. The North operates with Luke Bussell at quarterback. Bussell's going to hand it off on the end around, and a quick little move inside the 15-yard line. Keyshawn Ashford, and now we're going to go down to Mercedes Owens with Kavaris Thomas.
Hey guys, that's right. I'm down here with Kavaris Thomas. You probably saw him score the first touchdown of the game. Florida native. How'd that feel out there?
It felt good to set the tone for the game and get everybody's hopes up.
Now you're a 6'4" quarterback. You're going somewhere, that's for sure. Where are you headed in the fall?
Western Kentucky University.
And this is your last chance to play in a game before you head out to college. What are you looking to do out there tonight? Kind of get some fun out there, or are you definitely looking to win?
Both really. Like, it's my last game, and I got an opportunity to play with a receiver that's going to Western Kentucky with me. So, like, it should be fun, but I really want to win, too. So, like, it's just both. Like,
that's usually it. You're having fun if you're winning, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Well, good luck to you, Kavaris, and guys, we'll take it up back to you.
Just another talented player from the long tradition of the Lakeland Dreadnoughts and Bill Castle. And boy, a Western Kentucky fan should be really excited about that young man being in a Western Kentucky uniform.
Yeah, you know, Western Kentucky is kind of Tampa North. They get a lot of kids out of this area, and that's a long-standing tradition. Even when Willie Taggart was the head coach there, they've always gotten kids out of this area for a long, long time.
So the North trying to punch another one in. There's a handoff to Sean Doyle. Doyle gets it inside the 10.
It's kind of like a couple of boxers trading, punches to kind of figure the other guy out. Everything started off early in this game. Both teams were running inside plays. The last two offensive plays by the North squad here, you've seen a shift from the inside to the outside. Now they're starting to run those stretch plays where they're trying to take the edge because they've established themselves running the ball on the inside. Now let's see if we can get the ball on the outside.
Ball's at the 10. It's 2nd and a short 8. Just inside the 3, just outside the 2, they can get a first down. So I'm sure they're looking to punch it in. The quarterback is Luke Bussell out of Greenbrier Christian Academy in Virginia. Bussell's going to throw. Hunter has it, and Hunter's going to be wrapped up, and he's going to go down for a loss. And what a great play out there. Number 2 got out there, Jason Reese out of Braddock, Florida. Linebacker, got out there pretty quick.
Yeah, he did a good job. He's the force player on that play, and his job is to force the ball back inside. Now, that was a little bubble screen action. They didn't run off with any sort of run action, which is typically what happens, because they're going to challenge that guy on the edge by seeing if he's going to play the quarterback or if he's going to play the receiver. And in that situation, there was no quarterback run action. There was no inside run action. They just flipped the ball back out there and gave that guy a free run at him.
So this draws up an interesting situation. 3rd and 13, but you're on the 15-yard line. You kind of almost want to try to get the touchdown here. Are you expecting a throw, Ron?
Oh, yeah, I would say so. Yeah, absolutely. They haven't challenged him down the field yet. They don't mostly run, so why not give it a try?
And here's a little double reverse, and it's Hunter on the outside. We got a flag
that's
down.
Back. That might have been the tackle of the game, of big number 69 right there.
So big number 69, Brett Groves, and he's a big one out of Cary Grove, Illinois, 6'5", 315.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
So that'll come back. So,
I think they decline it.
Oh, yeah, because it'll be 4th down, right? It was a live ball foul.
Yeah.
So, of course, they decline it, so that'll set up a field goal attempt.
I don't know. I would have probably accepted that, played another down defense. And, because so far, the kicking game, we've seen some field goals made, but we've also seen a little bit of, it hasn't been perfect. Let's just put it that way. So back them up a little bit, let them play one more down. If they do something goofy where they try to throw the ball deep, you might get an opportunity to make a big play and come away with no points on this thing. Now they're just set up where they're well within field goal range.
So Barrett Pickering, the 32-yarder, is on its way, and it is no good.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was stuck in there, but I guess not.
I can never see those things. I never agree with the referees on those.
Speaking like a true coach. And speaking of coaching, we got to talk with the great Green Bay Packer National Football League veteran Kenny Stills before the game. And you guys had some common conversation about special teams in a short week. You got 2 practices.
Yeah.
How do you get special teams in there, Ron?
Well, what he told me was they only had about 10 or 15 minutes of special teams practice, which is understandable because you've got a lot of things to cover.
Right, in 2 days, 2 practices.
When you're talking about during the regular season, just getting special teams going the right way, that is probably the biggest challenge for me as a coach, to make sure that everybody's on the field when they're supposed to be on the field. You throw in all these distractions, lack of time for preparation, and you never know what's going to happen. So in the games that we've seen so far, in the blue-gray games, they have done a great job of getting those kids in the right place, doing the right thing, and we've seen good special teams overall.
So Matt Montgomery pitches out to Johnny Ford, and quick Johnny Ford around the outside, and that'll bring us to the close of the first quarter. So a good first quarter here. We saw some good special teams blunders. The North leads the South 7-3 here from Tampa. Back to Tampa. Welcome back. Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes Owens. And the North leads 7-3. And a big miss on the field goal gives the South an opportunity here to take the lead on this drive.
Oh, absolutely. These things, that's what they come down to. Field position, time of possession. When you get an opportunity, you gotta capitalize on it. And here we go, another variation on the formation.
So Zach Montgomery is in at quarterback. He's going to put it in there and keep. Let me ask you, Ron, on that play. You see how he put it in his belly and took it out? Is that the quarterback's read option?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for the answer.
Yes. Sorry.
I kind of knew the answer as the whole law school. Ask the questions you know the answers to.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are they're taught to pull when they need to, and depending on the play, of course. And the running back is it's not his job. It's not his job to take the ball unless that's the play.
So to bring up a 2nd and 8 now. Is it 3rd and 8? 2nd and 8. Thank you. Montgomery's going to pitch the ball. High pitch. Whoa, boy, what a load. Ford got the ball and got crushed. The big fella, Jameel Jones, out of Newport Central Catholic in Kentucky. Do you know their nickname?
I do not, but I know the school.
The Thoroughbreds.
Oh. Yeah, they're big into horses right there. That's basically South Cincinnati. That's my old stomping grounds.
Sure it is, yeah.
Yeah.
From Hamilton, Ron? Hamilton, Ohio?
Hamilton, Ohio.
Big football up in that area, I'll tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, bring up 3rd down now. And Jameel Jones got in there. It looked like he read the play.
Yeah. Well, I think they took a run through on without seeing the replay, I can't tell you exactly what happened, but I'm guessing he saw a clear gap between the A and the B gap, or excuse me, between the center and the guard, and he just took it, beat the play.
Montgomery's going to keep it, and he scampers out of bounds. Got a couple yards, but that's going to bring the punt team out, and Delano Ware going to Illinois. Ran him out of bounds, ran Montgomery out of bounds.
Well, he's going to play for a former local guy here, Coach Abraham. Donnie Abraham he's their defensive backs coach or safeties coach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Up there in Illinois?
Yeah.
Now, is Lovie Smith is still there, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and they played down here at USF this year.
Yeah, and on a Friday night?
Yeah, I was at that game. Actually, that was
a rainy Friday night.
It was right after Hurricane Irma because the USF invited basically every high school team in the area, in the whole state, actually, I think, if they wanted to come. So there was something like 50-some-odd teams registered to be here for that. So USF, it was a pretty cool event. Very nice thing to do right after Hurricane Irma.
So here's the kick by Jason Pierce, and it's fielded by Hunter. Again, and Hunter's been running all over the place. He's across the 40. And I'll tell you something, the leg drive, he keeps those legs going. He gets yards after contact.
Yeah, he's a little squatty body guy. I like those kind of guys. They're not necessarily really, really big, but based on his stature, he's just, he's a little piston.
So it'll bring up the 2nd down play now. The North leads 7-3. We're here in the 2nd quarter, and if you notice the time, we are playing 16-minute quarters here to get all the guys in. There's a pass thrown complete, and I believe it's going to be close to the 1st down. Now it's short. Actually, it's short. It's about 4 yards short. Russell Brown made the reception.
Well, now they want to try to now they've got everybody. They've done both teams have done a pretty good job of running the ball so far, and they've gotten guys to kind of suck down a little bit. Now start trying to spread things out, trying to get the ball out there on the perimeter, however they choose to do it, which is what you're starting to see now with their outside run game and their quick pass game.
Kavaris Thomas hands off straight ahead, and I don't believe they got maybe a yard, so it's going to bring up still about 3rd and about 3 here.
Well, I think you got to go out and change the snap count. Try to get these guys.
Yeah, is the defensive line getting off the ball good? They're reading the snap, you think? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's again, offensively, it's hard to get a team to be able to go on more than one snap count. It's something you really have to try to practice, and going back to those situations where the amount of time for preparation, it's tough.
Thomas throws downfield, makes a reception. Number 26, Stephen Lipford, out of Freedom High, North Carolina, and there's that arm, a pretty strong arm. He threw it on a rope, did Thomas. So the North is in business, 1st and 10. There's a handoff now, breaks a tackle, smacked down. Number 23, Tristan Isley on the carry. So 2nd and long. So Isley went to Nickerson High School in Kansas, had 4 rushing TDs on the year.
I know Nickerson High School.
You do? Come on,
I do.
Ron.
I promise you.
Really?
My first coaching job was at Sterling College in Kansas, which is, if you were to define the dead center part of the United States, I think Sterling College is about 4 miles from there. But Nickerson High School, whenever we would go to Wichita, we'd drive right past there. It's a tiny, teeny, tiny little town.
Thomas on the keeper. He's going to get wrapped up and driven a little bit backwards out of bounds. He's going to bring up a third down now. So has anything surprised you tonight, Ron?
I think some of the stuff early on, in terms of ball security, that's something that you got to protect the ball. It doesn't matter if it's where it's at or when it is. If you're playing football and you've got the ball in your hand, you've got to protect it. That's something that jumped right out from the start. I mean, there was a couple of turnovers or fumbles right away. You just don't like to see that at any level of football, regardless of what the game situation is.
And that's going to be a free first down. Thank you very much. So the North says thank you. A 3rd and 8 goes to a 3rd and 5. So a 3rd and, check my math, 3rd and 3. Wow.
It's all right.
So it's going to be 3rd and 3.
I didn't pick up on it.
3rd and 3, much manageable than a 3rd and 8, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you never know what they're going to do as far as
I'd like to see
if that were to occur.
A design run for Thomas. He's such a big fella there at quarterback out of Lakeland. 6'4", 240. Had over 1,100 passing yards, and there's a handoff straight ahead, and I think that's going to be short. So
yeah, they're well short. They're a good yard short. Well, you might see it here.
So getting back
over
to
a yard short. It's 4th and 2.
Getting back to Thomas, he had 1,189 passing yards, 11 passing touchdowns, 11 rushing touchdowns this year.
Yeah, Lakeland has obviously they've built a pretty good tradition as far as Florida football is concerned, national football is concerned. They've won national championships, however, in terms of the polls. So that is a great program to play in. So it's no surprise to me to see a quarterback like him come out of a program like that.
So Thomas goes back to throw, and he's going to be wrapped up and dropped for a loss. So they'll turn the ball over on downs, the North to the South, and that gets the South fired up. We'll take a break, and we'll be back. North leads 7-3. The 2018 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl is brought to you by Gatorade. Fuel your game from beginning to end. Win from within. Zenith.com. We design the best protective equipment gear in the game. Proud to be the official helmet sponsor of the Blue-Gray American Bowl. So the South takes over, 1st and 10. Down 7-3. There's Toby Norland as a quarterback. Throws incomplete. So to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they ran a little flood route there with sprint action where the quarterbacks, they're just trying to change the trajectory of the quarterback. Now, what I will say is they ran that to the left, which means the quarterback really has to flip his hips and get him around to be able to get the ball out there effectively. So they probably if they would have probably a little more success running that play to the right with a right-handed quarterback in this situation, but they gave it a good try there.
So the quarterback is Toby Nolan. Nolan plays for Ernest Graham, former NFL veteran, right here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, North Fort Myers High School, the Red Knights. And there's a quick little break to the outside. So Willie McKnight on the carry. And I thought he was going to go down right away, and then he broke away and just couldn't get outside after that.
Yeah, well, got back past the line of scrimmage to get him in a little bit better situation, but it's still going to be a tough road to get this ball down the field with past 10 yards.
So it brings up a 3rd and 10 after the incomplete and the rush for no gain. So Nolan, let's see what they dial up here. The offensive coordinator for the South is Cadillac Williams. And there's the
little double
play
move
action, and that's not going to go anywhere as they go down. And I'll tell you, this North defensive line, we talked about it before the game. Kyle Klink from Middletown, Maryland, played for the Knights. Smart kid going to Ivy League, Harvard. Kyle Klink brought the pressure.
Well, they are the Alabama of the Ivy League, so it's no surprise that they've got some pretty good players coming in up there. Well, one of the interesting things on that play, they had just a little more time. They had a receiver coming open down the field because they set up a little double move action there, and unfortunately the rush was just too much to.
High good punt by Jason Pierce, taken by Hunter. Hunter's going to get outside, and Hunter on good returns all night, still on his feet. Look at that little stutter move. Diago Hunter, and then Laundry flies everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a block below the waist, maybe.
So some of that will come back. The North leads 7-3. We'll sort it out when we come back here from Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida. Well, we talked about special teams at the top, and boy, Diago Hunter has certainly been putting on a returns clinic here tonight at Raymond James Stadium. He's had a few. It seems like every time he touches the ball, it's a good return. And here's a look at a couple of his punt returns.
Well, he keeps his legs churning. You know, he seems to be a no-quit guy. Really just hustle. Good all-around hustle.
Well, you know, you mentioned he keeps his legs moving. He also gets up the field, north and south. He does the moves at the right time, very instinctively.
Yeah, great vision. Great vision.
So the North leading on the scoreboard 7-3. And Cross Wilkinson is the quarterback. So good field position once again, courtesy of Hunter's punt return. So there's the ready for play whistle. We're ready to go. Wilkinson drops, looks, throws, and there's a nice defensive play coming up by number 21, Kobe Marion. And we're going to go down to the sideline. Mercedes, who do you have?
Hey guys, I've got Jordan Dominic down here now. He's staying local to Florida. He didn't want to go too far from home. That's what he was telling me earlier. South Florida commit. Jordan, tell me about this experience so far and what you're taking away from tonight's game.
This experience has been awesome for me. I have a bunch of my friends here that are playing with me. To be able to play as an All-American is just like a humbling experience. You're playing against so much great talent from across the nation. The coaches are awesome, all NFL veterans sharing their wisdom with me and all the other players. It's awesome just to be out here in this environment. We're having a whole lot of fun showcasing our talents to a bunch of college coaches and recruiters and stuff. So many people. I know for a fact somebody on this team just got an offer just from that little run right there. It's great just to be out here, have fun. It was awesome to come out here and actually be able to play on a field that I'm planning on playing on early in college as a USF commit. So it's just an awesome experience out here just to be able to play.
Is there anything in particular the coaches have, you know, I'm sure they've dropped some knowledge. Is there anything that's really stood out to you so far?
Just their coaching style. It's a whole different coaching style from what I'm used to. These guys are out here serious but funny at the same time. Like, they'll make jokes with you, but make sure that you're doing what you need to do. They're not push it. We're going to have fun out here while playing, and we're still going to win. And it's just an awesome experience to be able to have these coaches out here with us just to play.
I like that. Serious but funny. That's balance, right? Well, best of luck to you at South Florida.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Jordan Dominic. Boy, George Jenkins High School staying right here. Stay home and play at USF.
Yeah, I had a chance to coach against him this year, actually, as a player. We opened up with George Jenkins in the scrimmage early in the year, and he was a kid that stood out right from the start. It was a wonderful surprise to be able to see him play in this game today, because I knew right from the first snap of our scrimmage how good of a ball player he is. And USF is very fortunate to be getting him.
Johnny Ford awaits the punt from Pearson Cook. So the South going to get the ball back, trailing by 4. And there's Ford. Ford will take it inside the 10. Ford's cut down at about 10 yards on the return. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the South. Trail 7-3, looking to get back, make a move here to get in the game. Good game so far, Ron. 7-3. We had that, big special teams miscue on the muffed punt early that cost the South the touchdown. Other than that, it's been a heavily contested defensive game.
The first, like I said earlier on, the first part of this game, there was some definitely some snafus as far as ball security. But since then, I mean, it's been a pretty good good ball game.
So Austin Gunter, the new quarterback, throws complete for a first down to Dalton Belanger out of New Smyrna Beach, Florida, over on the East Coast. The Barracudas makes the catch and moves the ball. So quick little hitter there, Ron.
Yeah, they're trying to get that quick game going. You're seeing some variations in the formations. It's kind of setting up the pass game to really put the running backs in a better position as far as blocking is concerned. Because again, the defensive line on both sides, very aggressive, very good players. I'd look for a toss or a trap play right here based on this formation. Oh, outside zone.
There's a big hole, and that's Johnny Ford. Ford's a little short of the first down, but Johnny Ford's had some quality carries tonight for the South squad.
Yeah, for a kid that was averaging 8 yards a carry during the season, he's probably pretty close to that tonight too. He's doing a good job in the return game too.
So Austin Gunter comes in at quarterback out of White House Heritage High School, the Patriots in Tennessee. Played for Coach Hunter Hicks. Comes out moving the ball. Ford and Trout in the backfield. And there's Ford again, and he's maybe got a yard close to the first down. Keith Jenkins made the tackle. Clock's moving, getting close to halftime here. See, 6:23 left. Little trouble. What's going on here, Ron? Getting the play in?
Well, I think that one, the ball had the ball hadn't been blown in yet.
Okay, so ready for play.
Play clock
right.
hadn't even started yet. So they're actually going to kind of a quick huddle offense right now.
There's the handoff straight ahead. And I think he's going to have it, but we may have a measurement. It's going to be really close. So the officials will stop the clock to spot the ball. Maybe have a measurement here.
I don't think they're measuring.
No, they gave it to him.
Yeah.
See, I got to trust my eyes, Ron. So first down. So 2 consecutive first downs. The South starting to mount a little bit of offensive prowess here at Raymond James Stadium. Got a very favorable spot there. And here's Ford again. Ford's going to go outside, cuts inside. Nice tackle made there. Got a couple yards.
I think they're setting up a QB run scheme here as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see it in the next 2 or 3 plays, maybe in a shorter yardage situation, but they seem to be setting that up.
Garrett Egger came up and made the tackle, the linebacker out of Cody Kilgore High School. He had 115 tackles during the regular season at Cody Kilgore High for the Cowboys. 14 tackles for a loss. Averaged 11.5 tackles per game. Good work out of a linebacker, right?
Yeah, and you want those guys to make those tackles. But the thing is about making tackles, the first rule of tackling is you've got to want to make the tackle. There's a lot of desire involved with that.
So Ford goes again. Big gain on first down. And Johnny Ford has been a featured back tonight here for the South. It's 3rd and 1 on the play, so a favorable down if you're play calling.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe see a little play action, catch him off guard, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, the whole playbook is available in these short middle yardage situations. I mean, you could see a screen, you could see a run, you could see a QB run.
I think it's about 3rd and 2, a little further than 3rd and 1. So let's see what Austin Gunter, quarterback, can do, and he is going to throw. Gunter drops back, rolls to the right, throws, and he's got a receiver through behind him. It would have been a first down. Through behind Dalton Belanger. Had it wide open.
Yeah, he had a couple of guys. It was a longer developing play as far as the depth of the receivers are concerned. It wasn't a quick hitch. There was more of a. It looked to me more like those routes were breaking off at about 8 yards, 8 or 9 yards, which of course could take a little bit more time to develop. But the guys were there.
So Diego Hunter back once again for the punt. So to kick it away is Jason Pierce, Hillgrove, Georgia. Keyshawn Ashford is also back with Hunter. And we got a flag down. Is this a delay of game?
I don't know.
Too many men on the field, I think. There.
Yeah, it'll be automatic first down.
Really? Wow. So that's a...
Yeah,
Well, there's your special teams, Ron.
Yeah.
There's your 5 minutes of practice. Or what'd you say it was?
Yeah, it was the operation of it's tough. It's you got. I mean, that's the hardest part is getting those. I mean, that every punt, every field goal, anytime that there's a massive substitution, it really puts you.
So the South will stay
stressful
on offense. And you know, somebody said to me once, a football sideline during a game is like controlled chaos.
Yeah, it's tough. It's
you really got to be organized. Got a lot of players to watch, a lot of substitution. Then you got to, when someone gets injured, you got to replace them.
Yep.
And this all-star, an all-star game like this, the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl, you got a lot of players.
You got a lot of players. Not everybody's going to be familiar with each other because again, they're only around each other for a couple of days.
And Zach Montgomery takes off with the ball. New quarterback in, replacing Austin Gunter, who was in on the last 2 series, and Zane Tilson came up from his linebacker position. Blair High School in Missouri to make the tackle. So the South into North territory here, trailing by 4, looking to get a score before the end of the first half here in Tampa. Low snap, Montgomery corrals it. Montgomery's in all kinds of trouble and throws incomplete.
Well, I think they were looking to throw to that backside receiver. Would be on the one receiver side. They ran a little speed out off of kind of a stretch play action. I think the snap probably had a very negative effect on that play. Otherwise,
threw off the timing.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's a timing play basically.
Braden Vance was the intended receiver. So it's 3rd and 5, and this is where the North, if you're the North with a 4-point lead, you want to shut down business right here. Montgomery back to throw. Montgomery gets pressure. Look for Johnny Ford.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, he's averaging 8 yards a carry. Why not give him a chance, the ball out in space? Well, they were looking to the 2 receiver side right off the bat with they had kind of a vertical flat route combination between the 2 receivers, and on the 1 receiver side he was working vertical. The defense did a good job of covering all 3 of those routes. All they really had left was that outlet running back out into the flat, and it worked out for him.
Zach Montgomery threw for over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns at North Point Christian in Mississippi. Now, Ron, is that something? I mean, I thought that was a good play. Kyle Klink and Jack Kern make the tackles on their running play. Ron, is that something that a college scout may look at? I think that was a really good play by Zach Montgomery. Showed a lot of poise.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of these situations where the guys are covered downfield. What you're intending to throw is not open at all. So having the poise to be able to hold on to the ball, to not throw it out there, put the ball in a bad space, and potentially turn the ball over, but to also deal with the oncoming rush and then get it out to your little running back out in the flat who's clearly able to make some plays for you. You know, I think that's a great play. Great play.
And then on the next play, it looked like a little confusion on the handoff. Somebody zigged and they were supposed to zag or something like that on Montgomery.
Yeah, they've run a variation of that play, or at least that action a few times, where they've gotten the toss action with the trap coming back underneath, or some variation of it. I think they were trying to run the trap play, and nobody knew.
The Blue-Gray All-American Bowl is brought to you by the ImperialPoint.com, official uniform provider for the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Imperial Point. Mohawk Honda, your #1 volume and service dealership north of New York City. Go to MohawkHonda.com. So after the timeout, 2nd and 13 for the South.
You know, the big surprise that we really haven't seen it all today are any sort of real true spread formations, especially in some of these longer yardage situations. I would expect to see 4 receivers out there rather than 3 in these more passing situations, just to open up some options with these guys. We really haven't seen that much today. Almost everything has been in some sort of two-back alignment, even in longer yardage.
And big Jack Kern from Eau Claire Memorial High School, a Minnesota commit, going to play for the Golden Gophers. And the nickname of Eau Claire Memorial? The Old Abes. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, everybody's got the Tigers, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of Tigers,
a lot of Tigers.
A few Lions out there. I think there's some Cowboys. You get into some of those, the Conchs of Key West or the Spongers of Tarpon Springs.
Spongers of Tarpon Springs,
yeah.
Sure. Zach Montgomery still in at quarterback, pitches to Johnny Ford. Ford kind of reversed and went the other way, and Ford's going to go down. So it's going to be 4th and long, and I think you got a punt. Garrett Egger in there on the tackle again. And I mentioned earlier that Egger had 115 tackles for the year, 14 for a loss. Now he's got a blue-gray All-American Bowl. It looks like the North called timeout, so you think with a minute 29 left to go in the half, they're calling timeout to try to get the ball back?
Yeah, I'd say they probably are. They they want to get.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back. The North leads 7-3. Welcome back to Tampa. We're going to try, a long field goal attempt here. 53 yards by Javin Rice. And the ball is going to be held by Jason Pierce, the punter. The long snapper is Cade Long. So if you missed it earlier, Rice is committed to Vanderbilt. And Delano Ware is going to go back for the... Here's the boot, and it's going to be no good, just short.
Yeah, again, when you're talking about they're going to play by the college rules. So in high school, you can't bring a kick out of the end zone.
Correct.
In college football and obviously the NFL, you can. So that's where you would see those returns on on punts, obviously, but also on field goal tries.
Typically, a field goal miss doesn't land short. It goes in the NFL and the National Football League, and so that's why you don't see it that much. But once in a while, you'll see it short, and they'll return that just like a kickoff.
Yeah. Well, and in that scenario right there, that was a heck of a long field goal attempt. So I was a little surprised just because of that.
Luke Bussell throws downfield, and the ball's incomplete. The intended receiver was Hunter.
Yeah, that was probably a little bit of an ill-advised throw. Threw into more or less double coverage. Lucky they came back with it.
So pressure. Gonzalez Fariat and Donnie Wilburn were putting some pressure on in the backfield. Force the errant throw. A little double coverage out there. Maybe could have easily been picked off.
Yeah. It was definitely an ill-advised throw, especially one under duress.
So Bussell got away with it now. Bussell's going to throw again, rolls out a little bit. He's got pressure again. Look at that big fella, number 94, Donnie Wilburn, out of Gainesville, Florida. Had 55 tackles on the season. And boy, I'll tell you, for a big fella, he moved.
Yeah. Again, that's another version of what happened earlier in the game, where they're trying to run a sprint out pass with what we would call a flood combination, with somebody with a receiver running into the flat, one running at about 10 to 12 yards, as well as one running vertical. So it's a very easy read for the quarterback. 1, 2, 3. The offensive line has to do a good job of sealing the edge to give the quarterback an opportunity to get the ball around there, and they just weren't successful in that version of the play because of that.
And one thing I know, if you saw the replay, running back Brody Smith is no match for Donnie Wilburn. I guess, Brody Smith got his assignment right, but Wilburn just ran right over him.
Well, in college football, not in high school football, and not in a game like this, those guys are usually going to cut those guys at the point of attack as well, because it's a huge mismatch for a running back on a big defensive lineman.
So Wilburn put the pressure on, and he was coming, and he is a big fella, 6'2", 280 out of Gainesville.
And again, they also ran that play back against the quarterback's throwing strength, where the quarterback actually has to flip his hips to be able to get the ball out. And it's not to say that he can't do that. It's just it adds another layer to the development of that play.
So Donnie Wilburn the third, I'm told. Here's Smith on the carry. Gets to the outside as we got ZZ Top in the background. Nice little backdrop to the carry.
I guarantee if you go down there and poll the kids on that particular song, they would have no idea what you're talking about.
We need to have the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl band here. That's one thing that I love about high school football and even college football. The bands just make for such a great atmosphere. So it's okay having a little music play in the background. There's a flag down as we're winding down the second half.
Well,
it's going to bring up fourth down.
It's funny to even watch some of the old, the NFL films about, the '68 Packers, and they would have bands and fight songs with the NFL teams back then. It was like they were trying to recreate the college atmosphere, but that's kind of gone by the wayside, unfortunately.
So that'll bring Pearson Cook back on the kick. Cranbrook Kingswood High School in Michigan. He averaged 44 yards a punt. Pretty good, and there's a nice one, really nice. And it's Ford back inside the 20, and there's Ford, turns the corner with some speed. He's pointing out a blocker, and what a crushing block! And Ford steps out of bounds. And wow, what a crushing block on the punt return. We have a player down, and here's the replay. Watch this block. Johnny Ford pointed it out. And it looks like it's going to be Kyle Klink that got clanked.
Well, that wasn't too bad. You definitely saw him coming. One of the things.
Oh no, it's Noah Palmer.
Oh, okay.
There are two good blocks in that play.
Yeah.
Noah Palmer's the one that got hit.
That's one of the things that they've really tried to clean up in football the last 4 or 5 years is those blindside blocking plays, which is you're now seeing enforced in high school football. And I'm not totally sure that officials or coaches or players really know how to handle those scenarios, and in punt more than any other play. Punt is probably the most chaotic play in all of sports.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of those situations occur, and it can certainly be dangerous if it's not done correctly. But I didn't see anything too bad on that play.
No, I thought they were both clean blocks. They were just peeled back the way the wall was set up. And okay, so Austin Gunter comes in at quarterback, and we got 35 seconds here in the half. And the South is going to try to get on the scoreboard, at least get in field goal range.
I don't think they're going to be in
Javin
illegal
Rice
formation here.
And you got too many guys out there? It looks like a lot of gray shirts.
There are not enough guys on the line of scrimmage. They've got a tight end on the left side of the offense, and then they had two receivers lined up what could have been an unbalanced formation, but one of those two guys that were off the ball but outside the box had to step up onto the line of scrimmage to make it a legal formation, which is fine. Probably not a bad thing for the blue-gray game, because the defense may not have the ability to adjust very well to it.
So Gunter's going to pitch it. Ford's going to throw, and he throws, and it's complete or intercepted. Looked too easy to be. I mean, it looked like he was throwing it to him, so I thought it was a complete pass.
Yeah, it was a heads-up play.
So Gavin Kane actually threw the ball, and it was intercepted by Larry Davis. There's a flag down, and it's declined. So there's the pitch to Kane, and Kane's going to throw. He got pressure once again, and there's the overthrow. And I don't think the receiver was looking for the ball.
Yeah, I think there might have been an ineligible man downfield. I think that's what the penalty was on. Not totally sure on that.
Jacob Knotts, the tight end, was the intended receiver, but he wasn't even looking for the ball. But I think the pressure, and here's a running back not used to throwing the football.
It was very much hurried. It wasn't the most well set up play.
So the penalty is declined, and the North takes over. And in at quarterback is Kavaris Thomas. And Thomas gets a lot of pressure but eludes it. He's still on his feet as Thomas. Thomas is going to throw, and it's just incomplete, low. And I'll tell you, boy, he was running like crazy back there.
Yeah, those orange shoes working.
The intended receiver was Russell Brown out of Lehigh Acres, Lehigh High School, and I love this nickname, the Lehigh Lightning.
Nice.
It's got a great ring to it.
It does. And very applicable. We have a lot of lightning here in Florida.
Yes, they do. So Joel Morris brought the pressure. Finally got to Thomas, and Melbourne Central Catholic, the Hustlers,
It's another one.
Yeah, yeah.
You're on fire with these
10.10.
nicknames
Well, I like the fancy ones. 10.9 tackles per game and 17 tackles for a loss on the year for Joel Morris.
Another screenplay.
Throw, it's incomplete.
Lucky that's all it was. It was a little bit of a low throw. Hit his hands, bounced off. It would have been a tough catch. But luckily it bounced the grass.
You know, Ron, talk about how exciting it's got to be for these kids with these NFL veterans coaching them in an NFL football stadium, and then the friendships that they make. These kids make friendships for the rest of their lives with these friends.
Oh, absolutely. You know, they're meeting kids from that they may have played against in high school or may have played across the country. You never know. And in some situations, you have some guys. You have one guy that's coming from South Florida that's going to the U.S. from Miami area going to USF, while you have another guy coming from Central Florida. So there's a lot of guys that are making some relationships. You know, and it's football, man. It's an exciting atmosphere. You want to get out there and play. So it's going to be fun all around.
So there's a whistle, and it's a timeout by the North. So the North calls timeout. There's also, is there a flag down? No, just a timeout. So coming up at the end of the half, we got a special treat. Head coach of the South, Ernest Graham, is going to be on with Mercedes Owens. So she's going to catch up with Coach Graham. Got to chat with Coach Graham last night at the jersey presentation. And, boy, I'll tell you, he brought for some good memories here watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Ernest Graham, and I know a lot of the Florida Gators fans remember Ernest Graham in the swamp running all over the place.
Yep.
So it was great to catch up with him. So there you see 7-3 is our score. There's only 10 seconds left. The North has the lead and the ball. And, you know, a beautiful night for football. You know, a little too cool by Florida standards, but this is fun football.
Yeah, I think they had the snow plows out on Dale Mabry over there, but they're not quite used to the 40-degree temperature we have going on the last couple of days.
So as Thomas takes the snap's on the floor, and Thomas is going to fall on it. And that should end the half. I don't think they're going to call timeout. Joel Morris once again in there putting the pressure on. You know, one of the good things about the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl is I got to meet some of the parents, and I want to throw a shout out. Chris Marchesotto plays for the North out of Tottenville High School in Staten Island, New York, and I know his family up in Staten Island's watching the game, met his mom and dad, and it's just so great to meet these parents and the coaches, and just all the camaraderie that goes into this is really exciting to see these high school seniors playing. A lot of them playing their last game, but boy, a lot of them, probably more than not, going on to play at the collegiate level. Some of these guys that maybe don't have looks will get some looks after this game, even at the 2 and 3 levels, Ron.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that's great about a game like this is it's an opportunity. It's an individual showcase, essentially, what it boils down to. So if you're a kid that might be a bubble kid as far as getting a scholarship or not getting a scholarship, this is an opportunity to get something on film against somebody that is a scholarship player. So you're able to go out there and compete.
So we're going to go down to the sidelines. Head coach of the South, NFL veteran Ernest Graham.
All right, Ernest, you have 8 years of NFL experience, and running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you have to feel some kind of way being out here with these guys today.
It just feels good to be back in Ray J. It was kind of surreal walking into the stadium, because I felt like I was doing that track before one of my big games. So it's just great to be in Tampa, be in the stadium. I'm getting a chance to experience this with high school kids, so it couldn't be any better.
What's your message for them this week?
Just to, we wanted to come out there and give full effort and take advantage of the week, to learn from the staff, to get around their teammates and make new friends, and to just enjoy the entire experience. And you can see that we're doing that tonight.
Okay, but you have your head coach cap on, and you're down by 4. What are you going to tell them in the locker room?
We're going to go out and keep doing what we're doing. We're moving the ball well. We're playing physical on defense. We're the best team right now. We just got to go out and capitalize.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
2018 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. 7-3. We're at halftime here in Tampa. It's halftime in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Blue-Gray All-American Bowl 2018. The North leads the South 7-3. And Ron, we talked about what an exciting time it is for these kids. You know, they're all in the same boat. They're seniors in high school. Their high school careers are coming to an end. Some of them are going on to big-time Division I football. And here's some shots from practice at Jefferson High School here in Tampa. And these guys really get to make some new friends.
Yeah. And the thing about a practice for a game like this, that's different than a lot of your practices, especially late in the season. They're going to be competitive. Guys are going to go out there and get after it because they, you know, football is it's a competitive game, obviously, and these guys are competitors. So they're going to get an opportunity to show some of their abilities. They're going to do so in practice too.
So a lot goes into the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl, and it's an exciting time, but it's all about those seniors out there on the field. We're at halftime. We'll be back shortly here at Raymond James Stadium. Saturday night, downtown Tampa. In the background here from Raymond James Stadium, the North leads the South 7-3. 2018 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Rick Sassone, along with Ron Hahn, and Mercedes Owens is our sideline reporter. And we talk about some of the recruits that are going to big-time D1 football. And there you see the South recruits, and certainly Johnny Ford seems like he's at home playing in the stadium.
Oh yeah, no, he's had quite a night so far in the running game and in the return game as well.
You see Lance Boykin going to Old Dominion. Michael Austin had a good defensive game tonight. UC Chattanooga, and then Jordan Dominic, who was on earlier in the first half with Mercedes, going to USF right here. And of course, Javin Rice, the kicker, going to Vanderbilt. He's had plenty of opportunities tonight to showcase his leg. And then the North, they look stacked. If you look at the list of the North team of the recruits, and there's the list there. And a couple guys we mentioned going to Western Kentucky, and Kavaris Thomas out of Lakeland High School, and Russell Brown. And you mentioned, Ron, Western Kentucky is kind of like recruits very heavily out of Florida. And it used to go, I think it goes back to the Willie Taggart days.
Probably even before that, because Willie Taggart played there. And,
okay, wow.
And he's a Tampa native, just south of the Bay. Yeah, they've had a ton of guys come from the Tampa Bay area up to Western Kentucky.
Yeah, Kyle Klink, the Harvard, going to Harvard, and Lappin going to Nevada. Noah Palmer, we talked about him. I thought very quick on the defensive line at 225, but you mentioned Coach Nardozzi will bulk him up there playing for the Pittsburgh Panthers.
Yeah, they'll bulk him up, or they'll move him over to the offensive line. So
right, they'll find.
So you better be able to run if you're going to play for Pitt.
No, but just what a beautiful night for football. It's around 50 degrees as we kicked off. The temperature's dropping now. We are at halftime. There you see John Gruden on the Ring of Honor. We're at halftime here in Tampa. Welcome back to Tampa. And Mercedes has head coach of the North, NFL veteran with the Rams and the Lions, Arlen Harris.
Yes, Arlen Harris joins us down here. Now, Coach, let's talk about the things that you saw out there in first half that you liked.
I saw a lot of guys just, staying on each other, just trying to motivate them. Offensively, we got to take what they're giving us. Defense is really what's carrying us right now. They're doing their job, getting the ball back for us and put us in a position to win.
What have you been most impressed with that these guys have done? I mean, you have to throw everything together in just a couple of days. What has impressed you the most out there tonight?
Their attitude has been great. Their attention to detail, being able to come out here literally with 2 days of practice and be able to go out there, execute, and fill each other out. So that's what I told them. I said, guys, we're not changing anything. Relax. Let's take what they give them, and we should be okay.
And as an NFL veteran, you definitely know what it takes to get to that elite level, to get as high as you can go with football. What do you hope that they leave here with, or what do you hope that you leave them as they head into their college careers?
It's really the preparation. once you come out here in between the lines, you can just go out there and play football. But what we really were on them during practice is those details and asking those questions, because a lot of things they learn at the high school level is going to, be another step up once they get to college. So hopefully those guys were able to take those nuggets back with them, learn those little minute details that they might not have received, back at their school, use it, and not just use it here, but when they go home, continue to practice it.
All right, well, I know it's about having fun and about learning, but your team's up, so I wish you best of luck. Hopefully you can keep that lead. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, guys.
Well, we'll come right back here to Tampa with the second half kickoff and some highlights here, Raymond James Stadium. Second half is underway with a Pickering, I should say. And here's some highlights, kick out of bounds. So here's some highlights from the first half, some of the miscues. Of course, the big play that led to the only touchdown of the game, or the first half so far, is the muff punt, Ron.
Yeah, they're under the bright lights. Again, they probably haven't played football in a couple of months. Not surprised, but can't have those things happen.
And that led to the big fella, Kavaris Thomas, pounding in. And then we had, of course, a couple of missed field goals. Javin Rice, big leg going to Vanderbilt, but I'll tell you, he's got a big leg, but it's a little cold weather. And this one, boy, this was a long one that I almost thought had it.
Yeah, no, it was a surprise. Certainly a long field goal. That really probably doesn't count against him as far as a miss is concerned. It was almost like a Hail Mary pass of kicks, so to speak.
So Austin Gunter is in at quarterback to start off the half for the South. He trails by 4, so let's see if they can get the offense going. And there's a handoff, and it's Willie McKnight. And one thing that I was going to say, my thought was cut off with the run, is the defensive lines have just taken over this game.
Yeah, defensive line is one of those positions where guys who are going to play with great enthusiasm, that are going to play with great fury, they can really make a difference. And they're playing against a group of guys that it's the hardest group to coach. It's the hardest group to play within. So it's not a surprise and it's not unusual, but it's good to see those guys getting after it.
So 2nd and 3 now. Gunter's going to hand off again, and it's McKnight. Little stutter step through the hole, and he's going to be close to a first down. I think he may have it.
Yeah, I think he does.
And it is a first down. They're going to move the sticks. So the South, a good start to their first series, a first down in 2 plays.
Yeah, that's what you want to see happen, especially in the run game here.
And Willie McKnight is out of Gainesville, had 9 touchdowns on the year rushing. So a lot of ACC schools looking at him, Willie McKnight III.
Unfortunately, they don't have the unusual mascot for you to point out. They're just the Hurricanes.
So wrapped up, that's going to be a tackle for a loss. And speaking of defensive line, I think the whole defensive line plus some linebackers were in. Let's take a look at this one.
That was kind of a jailbreak.
Led by Noah Palmer. Everybody was in there. Look at him double teaming number 77, Jack Kern, in the middle. And that allows all the rest of those guys.
Well, the defensive line obviously did a great job there, but the back, that was an inside zone run play where they're kicking out the backside defensive end. And the running back, in terms of making his read, he cut back just a little bit too far to where he was outside of that kick out block, which is not where you want to be in that particular play. Therefore, it looked a lot worse than what it was, and certainly made the offensive line look a lot worse than what they probably were on that play.
Loss of 3 yards on the play. Gunter's going to drop back and throw. Pass is complete. No, incomplete. Hit immediately. He had it. Tyler Chase Walker was belted and separated from the football. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was a traditional kind of waggle pass looking play where they're slipping the fullback out into the flat, and they're running that off of that split zone action they've been running all day. I'm surprised it didn't work out a little bit better, to be perfectly honest.
Who came up and laid the hammer? One of our featured players, Kenny Churchman.
Yeah. Did a nice job there. Like I said, big defensive backs that are willing to stick their nose in there. That's a nice thing to have.
So Gunter's going to drop back. Getting some pressure, and there's the pressure, just throws it away, and that's got to be offensive. That's got to be intentional grounding, and it is.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know that that seemed to be a little bit of a miscue with where he was looking to versus where the routes were being run.
And who brought the pressure? Again, Noah Palmer.
Well, Pitt's getting a good one.
Yeah, they sure are, man. 83 tackles on the year at the Thomas Jefferson Jaguars in Pennsylvania. And they're just going to have to punt because that's a loss of down. So not only do you lose the down, you lose the yardage as well. So that's going to back up Jason Pierce to punt, and back is the ever so dangerous Diego Hunter, number 10, who's been putting on a special teams clinic tonight. And high kick, and Hunter will call for a fair catch and make it about the 34 yard line. So the North gets to take over. So once again, the South came out, a couple plays, got a first down. We're looking good, moving the football, and then that defensive line that we talked about of the North, who has, several D1 commits, shut them down.
Absolutely.
So the North will get their first possession of the second half. And Cross Wilkinson is in at quarterback. And here's a little outside handoff around the corner. It's Keyshawn Ashford, run out of bounds. And the quarterback, Cross Wilkinson, I met his dad last night at the jersey presentation, and signed with Toledo, the Rockets. And I'll tell you, it just had happened because I didn't have the information, and his dad called me over and said, he signed with Toledo. I said, is it definite? He said, oh, yeah. And I said, are you his dad? He said, I sure am. Smiling from ear to ear. So congratulations to the Wilkinson family.
Yeah, Toledo Rockets, they have a pretty good football tradition
Can't
up there.
beat the MAC. And Louis Zervis kicking for the Ohio Bobcats. Coach,
yeah, he's a good one. He's a good one.
Remember that name for Sundays. So Wilkinson gives the handoff to Sean Doyle, and Doyle got maybe a couple yards, gets it out over the 40. So I'm saying if this was like a regular season game or something, only with a 4-point lead, but you think the North could take some air out of the ball and run some clock, because it's been tough going. Points have been at a premium tonight. In case you missed it, you're just tuning in. Our only touchdown was a couple plays after a muffed punt that was recovered deep inside the 10, didn't they?
Yeah, with the way this game started, I thought it might be a high-scoring game.
So the 3rd and 4 play now. Wilkinson's going to give to Doyle, and Doyle's going to pound ahead. It's going to be about a yard short of the first down. So you bring up 4th and 1, and you got to kick it, right, Ron?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Unless you want to run some sort of gimmick play here, or go out there and try to hard count them and just take a penalty or a timeout. But it's still pretty early.
Well, I'll tell you, Cross Wilkinson is staying on the field. So maybe a hard count, try to draw him off sides?
Oh, I would say a hard count is probably inevitable.
Yeah, I don't think you go for it up by only 4. And it's a long one at that. Oh, they're going to run a play, and there's the handoff, and Doyle has it, first down, and he fumbles the football. The ball's on the turf in the Outback logo, and the South has recovered it. So Doyle had the first down, but coughed up the football, and with the recovery, Cameron Howitt, and he's going to get a big hug from the head coach because he played for Ernest Graham at North Fort Myers High School, the Red Knights.
Yeah, I think he just he broke out there in the open field. That actually probably could have been a touchdown. He just put a helmet right on the ball, and that thing came right out.
So a nice hit, and number 15, Jeremiah Salam, our other featured player before the game for the South. And if you missed that, there's Cameron Howard. Met him in the lobby the other day. What a nice young man. Really excited about playing at the next level, and I think that he will. And Ernest Graham, he had 3 interceptions on the season. He's very active defensive back, 40 tackles, 7 for a loss from the defensive back position. Dropping back to throw, getting a little pressure, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, he probably could have just tucked and ran that thing and maybe picked up a couple more yards instead of throwing under duress, getting hit, and almost downfield.
So here's Nolan, gets the pressure, tried to get it to Braden Vance, and like Ron said, probably ill-advised. Probably should have tuck it right there. He probably should have tuck it down and ran with it. And lucky that thing wasn't picked off.
Yeah, thrown into traffic. That's a tough gamble.
The future Temple Owl, Evan Boozer, is bringing the pressure. So here's a handoff. Gets around the outside, the quickness.
Oh.
And Johnny Ford.
I like his running style. You know, he runs hard, he runs low, he'll hit you, but he can certainly make you miss too.
So it brings up a 2nd and 4 now. So Ford going to play his collegiate football right here at Raymond James Stadium when he plays his home game. Head coach Charlie Strong entering his 2nd year for the USF Bulls. So 3rd and 4. South really needs this. Going to throw, and it's complete for a first down. Finally, he'll get wrestled down. Anthony DeCamp makes the catch out of Merritt Island, Florida. So Nolan with the completion for the first down for Braden Vance with the first down reception. So the South looking up at the scoreboard, only down by 4, and they're in North territory now, 40 yards from the goal line. So 1st and 10, Toby Nolan in at quarterback. He played for Ernest Graham at North Fort Myers Red Knights. And there's Johnny Ford. Ford reverses field, and Nolan throws a nice block for Johnny Ford, and Johnny Ford has a first down. Johnny Ford still on his feet inside the 30, the 25, and wow, Nolan with the block, threw for over 1,700 yards on the year, and threw a block there. Hey, we're going to go down to the sideline. Mercedes, what do you have?
Hey guys, I'm joined here by Jeremiah Salam. He just forced the fumble. You watched it happen. It's been a wild game. Talk about it so far. How much fun are you having out there?
It has, and the weather has been just crazy, you know. Right after halftime, we felt the breeze. It dropped. It just dropped. So, you know, adjusting to the game. But it's been good. Learning with new teammates. People are all going D1, D2, D3. They're going to be somewhere next year. So it's a good experience playing with these guys.
And speaking of being somewhere next year, you had over 20 offers, and you've told me that you're kind of thinking about your top 3. What do you have in mind?
I'm not saying any names right now, but I'm open to any school right now. Recent schools that's been hitting me up is Oklahoma, Memphis, and Nebraska, but I'm open.
Those schools sound pretty good to me. Well, we'll keep an eye out for you. Jeremiah Salam, you never know where you're going to see him next year. He's got the offers. Back to you guys.
Jeremiah Salam, what a talent. And I got to tell you, I ran into him getting off the elevator, and I asked him, I looked at him and I smiled and I said, where are you going? He goes, I don't know, sir. I said, well, make the best decision for yourself. And you know, it reminds me, was it the Billy Squire song, Everybody Wants You? That's what I think of.
I don't know anything about that, so.
Oh, come on, Ron, you're not that young. So there's a list of offers that Salam received, and wow, what a player. So back to live action. The North has the lead and the ball.
Coming back to that trap play, they've changed the formation up a little bit by lining up in a wing formation and giving that fullback back underneath, trying to get that inside run game going again.
Well, the timeout on the Billy Squire got me crazy. The South has the ball and they trail. How about that? So I apologize for that. Travis Faley up here, our spotter tonight, keeping me on point. Thank you, Travis. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 12, loss of 2 on the play. I thought I was wrong. I thought we'd have more scoring tonight.
Yeah, especially early on with what we saw.
Nolan still in quarterback for the South. There's a pitch back and a little reverse on the outside.
And there's been explosive plays too. That's the thing, is it's not just been a ho-hum football game with, you know, get a couple of yards and 3 and out and punt. There's been explosive plays. They just haven't found the end zone.
So Blake McPherson listed as our kick returner, getting some touches on offense tonight. Another North Fort Myers Red Knight. Played for Ernest Graham, NFL veteran Ernest Graham, who's coaching the South tonight. So it's third down now. Two backs in the backfield. Join quarterback Toby Nolan. Nolan's going to throw. Nolan rolls. He's got a receiver, and it's complete inside the 15-yard line.
That's a heck of a good throw, too, because he was getting hit just as he was throwing, and that took a long time to develop, and they had quite a bit of rush.
Nolan threw for 1,703 yards on the year, 15 touchdowns, completed 60% of his passes for a rating of 109.4. Very impressive, Toby Nolan. So you got to imagine he'll end up somewhere. And a lot of these kids will end up getting offers and scholarships. Still plenty of time left in the recruiting process.
Yeah, but one of the biggest things, and it's is making sure that they keep their grades in check all the way through the end of their senior year. You know, that's.
And there goes Johnny Ford, untouched for a touchdown. The ball was on the ground. Nolan picked it up, got it to Ford, and Ford scores. The South has the lead, 9-7, with the extra point coming up. Sorry, Ron, you were saying Johnny Ford ruined it for you.
You know, not to distract from grades, but that was a touchdown, and we got to make sure we celebrate that.
Yes.
But yeah, these guys have to make sure that they keep working academically. You know, that's the first thing when a college coach walks onto my campus. That's the first thing that they ask. They want to know what kind of student are they first, and then they want to know what kind of person they are. And obviously the football part of it, that they're going to see that's evident, that's easy. So those guys really need to make sure that they stay in check academically.
So the extra point attempt by Javin Rice. And Rice bangs it through. So the South take the lead on the Johnny Ford touchdown. They lead by 3, 10-7. We'll be back here at beautiful Raymond James Stadium. We Believe in Me, providing better education with professional training in strength, speed, and mental coaching. We Believe in Me. And represented here tonight, We Believe in Me, Dorian Gooch, Jabril Mohammed, Gage King, and Marshall Elam. And I want to thank Terry Wunsch and his wife, Brenda, had lunch with him today. And We Believe in Me, and that ties in with the grades you were talking about, Ron. I wanted to bring that up on how important it is, academics, getting good grades. It's unbelievable.
It's wildly important. I spend more time as a head high school coach talking with kids and working with kids with their grades than anything, by far.
So there's the kick. Diego Hunter's going to field it on the 10. And he goes spin move, and Hunter just keeps making big runs. The 30-yard return all the way out to the 40. And we're going to go down the Mercedes with Johnny Ford.
Yep, I got Johnny Ford down here. Just scored the touchdown to put his team in the lead. You're having a big game out there. What happened at halftime to change things for the South team?
What changed things was the coaches talk, and he told us that this half we go come out and dominate, and we executed the plays and we listened to him, and it's all going well.
And you're out of Miami and you're staying close to home. Tell us where you're headed this fall.
USF.
And this has to be a good feeling so far if this is your last game of your senior career to take this into your college career.
Yes, it feels great because I'm in Tampa and I'm coming to Tampa, so it feels great.
And USF plays in this stadium. How cool is it to be here tonight?
It's great just to test the field for the first time. Knowing that I'm going to be here for 4 more years or 30 months is great.
You never know. It might be more than 4 more years. You could be a Buccaneer one day.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, Johnny. Thanks so much. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Mercedes. So now the North, after the good kickoff return by Diego Hunter, 30 yards, got it out to the 40-yard line. 2nd and 10. And there's a complete pass, but he's going to be down. Can't get up and run. It's not the NFL yet.
Yeah, he thought he was in the NFL.
Trey Hart with the reception. And Luke Bussell is in at quarterback now. for the North team. And we got a good game here at 10-7 in the third quarter.
Yeah, exciting. Things have cleaned up. Again, there's a lot of explosive plays. Just not a heck of a lot of scoring, but it's been a fun game to watch so far.
So, I mentioned Dorian Gooch, We Believe in Me, and boy, what a career he had at Tampa Catholic. We'll get to that in a minute. There's Bussell rolling out. Bussell throws on the sideline. It's incomplete, I believe, or are they calling it complete? Incomplete. So Dorian Gooch, I'll tell you, at Tampa Catholic had 102 total tackles, 21 for a loss. So 1 out of 5 of his tackles were for losses. Dorian Gooch, that's amazing. So you got to imagine the son of an NFL veteran, Jeff Gooch. You got to imagine that Dorian is going to end up somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. And they do a great job over there at Tampa Catholic. Coach Gregory and company. They've done a great job for a lot of years.
So here's a punt. You saw the replay on that. Clearly an incomplete pass on the sidelines, and the punt is going to roll dead. The South is going to take over on their own 20-yard line, keeping with a 3-point lead. We'll be back here at beautiful Tampa, Raymond James Stadium. Rick Sassone along with Ron Hahn and Mercedes Owens. Our spotter Travis Faley. 1st and 10, the South takes over on their own 20 with a 3-point lead, 10-7. Now, and in at quarterback is number 6, Zach Montgomery. Threw for over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Montgomery's going to hand the ball off, and bouncing it outside is Willie McKnight III. And Willie McKnight gets loose, and Willie's down the sidelines and out of bounds. So big rips off 20 yards. Willie McKnight from Gainesville, and I definitely could see him with 9 rushing touchdowns on the year, 4.9 yards per carry. I definitely see him. And Ron, how did he talk about keeping your legs going and staying outside?
Well, he was patient too, because they ran a little power play where they pulled the guard around, and that takes timing, that takes patience. If you run that thing too fast, you're going to beat the block up into the hole, and that's no good. But it was good timing, good vision, and he kept his legs churning and made it happen.
And anytime you break a tackle from Kenny Churchwell, you know it was a good run, and that's what he did. So to pick up 21 yards. Now we got a whistle on the play. Looks like what's going on? A penalty against the South. I didn't see it, Ron. Did you see anything? Wasn't the way it came.
No.
Maybe a false start?
Procedural, maybe.
Maybe 12 guys in the huddle. I'm not sure. I missed that one.
Yeah, it was something procedural.
So 5 yards, 1st and 15. Montgomery's going to throw. Montgomery throws downfield, incomplete over the intended receiver's hands, and that was Braden Vance. Incomplete, and back there on the coverage, number 29, Eric Roy, out of C.D. Hilton High School, the Bulldogs in Virginia. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 15 now. So Ron, seems like a little confusion. We really haven't seen too much offensive confusion tonight. It's kind of surprised me, but now it seems like there's a little offensive confusion. Plenty of time on the play clock, though.
Yeah, they're going with kind of the no-huddle look, which is definitely a surprise. And they're doing it pretty well.
Montgomery is going to get pressure, and there's Kyle clanks Montgomery down. So big loss, and boy, the promising run by Willie McKnight to start off the series.
They're almost back to where they started.
They are, I know. They started on the 20. Where are we back? Where are they going to spot the ball? The 24.
Yep.
So what started out real promising, it's going to be a long yardage situation. Now for the South, they have the lead on the scoreboard, but only by 3. So offense still needs to be a priority. It's 3rd and 27. There's the inside handoff that's going to go nowhere.
tell you what, Harvard's getting a great one there, Kyle Klink. He's a big body kid. I'm surprised. I'm wondering if he had some offers to some bigger schools, and he's just such an intelligent young man that he wants to go to Harvard because he's a great football player.
Yeah,
really well coached. He's running around, great enthusiasm.
And Christian Lappin made the tackle, 13 tackles for a loss this year, and out of Liberty High School in Henderson, Nevada, is going to play for the Wolfpack in Reno, Nevada.
Nice. That's probably a pretty fun place, playing out there in the western part of the United States. All those wacky offenses and just a lot of fun.
So Jason Pierce kicks it out of bounds. The North will have it. When we come back, trailing on the scoreboard by 3, 2018 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. The 2018 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl is brought to you by Cole's Professional Camps. Kicking, punting, long snapping camps. Dates and locations at coleskicking.com. East Coast Prep will help you prepare for the next level. For more info, go to eastcoastprep.com. So 1st and 10 for the North. Kavarius Thomas in at quarterback, and Kavarius Thomas was lucky he handed it off because big number 62, Jordan Dominic, was in the backfield and made the tackle. So Mercedes, you got Dorian Gooch.
Joins us down here, and he's local to Tampa Bay. You're just one of a handful of guys that are a part of the We Believe in Me program. So can you tell me about that program, what it's done for you during this whole process?
It just helped me get exposure and helped me just kind of get into how college coaches and get my name around. So get ready for college and all that.
And having friends here, I mean, you're local to Tampa. It has to have been a fun experience. Talk about the last few days and even the game so far, what it's been like.
It was pretty fun, staying at home because I don't really have to go anywhere. I'm down the street. So just like meeting people from different places, Alabama, Pittsburgh and all that stuff. They're cool kids and get to learn how people work in different states and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
I think learning and having fun is what it's all about, but we're going to take a second for style because Dorian has the coolest cleats. Check them out. He said they help him run super fast. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Those cheetah spots have to help. Well, good luck, Dorian. Thanks for joining us. We'll take it back to you guys.
Thank you, Mercedes. What a fashion statement. Love it. Love it. Hey, that fumble. So the North fumbled, and the fumble was recovered by Troy Furestad. Recovered the fumble, and now the South has the ball. They're back in business with a 3-point lead. And here we'll see that fumble that happened while Mercedes was talking to Dorian. Just not a good exchange there, Ron.
Yeah, bad quarterback exchange. That's on the quarterback. But that running back, he's got to open up his pocket, and he's got to get the high cradle going. Both arms around the ball. You're running it inside. Protect the football.
That was Brody Smith that didn't get the good exchange from Thomas. And here's a run now for the South, and powers through over the 40-yard line. And it's Gavin Kane on the carry. And Dorian Gooch, you mentioned We Believe in Me, and very good to have this, get some groundedness in your grades and the mental part of it, because it's a big change. These kids, what a big step becoming adults.
Yep.
Going from a senior in high school to a freshman in college. A lot of them going to be going away from home.
It'll be the first time away from parents.
So, fumble. We got a fumble, and they're calling it down. Ball carrier was Tyler Chase Walker. So Cameron Holscher picked it up out of Ram, Ohio guy out of Springfield.
That's a little bit north of where I'm from. That is a tough town. It's a working class town where people just they're going to put their hard hat on and go to work, and tough football town.
There we saw the replay. A good call by the officials here tonight.
Don't give those guys too much credit.
They get them right sometimes, I'm telling you. So there was an offsides penalty as we were joking about the officials. They threw another flag. The North was offside. So 5 gratuitous yards to the South offense. And the South is in business. They're moving the football. They got a 3-point lead. Back the pass, incomplete, out of bounds. Oh, they're calling it good. Wow. And Austin Gunter threw the ball out. I want to see that replay.
Yeah, that was a heck of a throw and catch. And
Bradley McGee, show me the replay. I guess my eyes are going, Ron. Guess I don't have the best vantage point, but.
Yeah, that's a heck of a catch.
Well, he's in bounds. Did he hold it? I guess he did. Wow, okay.
Yeah, it didn't even look close from the replay.
So the inside handoff behind some good blocking gets about 3 yards. And we got a first down. So Kane carries for the first down. And the South is really threatening. And I'll tell you, a touchdown here, and it seems like a 10-point lead, maybe insurmountable. But then maybe the North offense will open it up a little bit.
Yeah, we haven't seen any sort of everything has been in these 20 personnel, 2 back, 3 receiver sets. So we really haven't seen any sort of spread type formation. So I would assume that that's probably somewhere in the playbook.
So Gunter going to hand off, and the defensive line of the North sniffs that out and stops it up. So that'll bring up second down. Cameron Holscher is in there. Linebacker, 6'2", 220. Good size for a linebacker.
Yeah, that's a big kid.
Time is, running down, as Travis mentioned here in the third quarter, and I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to let it out, let it run out, and switch ends. They don't seem to be in a hurry to run another play.
Nope.
And this is how the third quarter will end here in Tampa. So the South with a 3-point lead and the ball, they're in the red zone, threatening again. It's the 2018 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl here in Tampa. So the fourth quarter is about to be underway here in Tampa. The South been on top 10-7 after, and Ron, I really thought there was going to be more scoring tonight. Are you surprised at all? Or?
Well, watching the first quarter, the first couple plays, I thought there was going to be a lot of scoring. But typically in these showcase kind of games and these, there's not a lot of score because offense takes a long time to sort of mesh together.
Gunter's going to throw to the end zone, and it's incomplete. So attending receivers, Braden Vance. Bradley McGee, number 16, pardon me. So just underway, and if you're tuning in and you see 15:55, that's because here in the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl, we play 16-minute quarters, and that's to get the extra personnel in. So 2nd and 10 for the South in the red zone, trying to add to the 3-point lead. Inside handoff, Gunter, and I'll tell you that blue team, the North, their defensive line, it seems like they've been in the backfield all night. Evan Boozer, the Temple commit out of Loyola Blakefield, Maryland. Another tackle for a loss.
Yeah, those guys, that's one thing about playing defensive lines. It doesn't change from one place to the next all that much. Their reads are going to be pretty consistent. So these guys are probably the most well prepared to play in a bowl game setting compared to any other position group, just because it's defensive line play is pretty standard across the board. Just play fast and squeeze the play.
So Javin Rice with the field goal attempt. Kick is up, and it's good. So 3 more points for the South. They now lead 13-7. And Javin Rice kicked through it, and You know, it didn't look like the ball was traveling. The cold air seems to be a lot colder here in Tampa than in other places, and he put a lot of leg in it, and it got there. Plenty to spare. So 13-7, still a one-score game here at the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. So let's see if the North kind of opens it up a little bit. You feel like, you know, only a 6-point lead by the South, but it just feels like so much more, doesn't it, Ron?
Yeah,
because
there's been so many explosive plays. I think you're still going to see a few more explosive plays. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw one coming up soon that results in a touchdown, because they've been so close on so many plays, whether we're talking about a big kick return or a long run or even a couple of decent long passes. So it's just a matter of making one more guy miss for that thing to go the distance. I wouldn't be surprised if we still see one of those this game.
So the ever dangerous Diego Hunter is back deep for the North. And if you didn't see the first half, he put on a highlight reel on kick and punt returns. He's back deep along with Sean Doyle as the up back, standing just inside the 15. There's a high short kick. Hunter will take it on the 15. Wall is set up, very patient. Hunter goes straight ahead and is racked up about the 30-yard line. So that's where the blue team, the North, will take over. 1st and 10, trailing by 6 here from Tampa. Are really enjoying this night playing out there. A lot of passion. Everybody's playing hard. It's really exciting to see.
Definitely a fun night to play. It's perfect football weather. If you're a guy down on the field and you're playing, because you're not going to get too hot, it's a great night for football.
So Wilkinson in at quarterback, hands off to Brody Smith, and Smith is thrown backwards. So good penetration on the defensive line by the South team. And here we'll take a look at it. I think that the South is smelling victory here. Good defensive play, grabbed a hold of the jersey there. Big number, Michael Austin, 68 out of Apaka, going to UT Chattanooga.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mismatch. You had a fullback on a gigantic defensive tackle. That's just not going to work out real well for that guy too often.
So 2nd and about 11 now. Back to throw. Wilkinson going to air it out. That's incomplete. So 3rd down, 3rd and 11 now.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him come back to a screen play. There's been 2 or 3 screens run this game, and this is a good opportunity to run one. We haven't seen one, I don't think, since probably the 2nd quarter.
You know, Wilkinson threw for over 2,400 yards and 18 touchdowns, 218 yards per game at the high school level. Wheeling Park High School Patriots. So he's going to fit right in the MAC, playing for the Toledo Rockets.
Oh yeah, especially up there. They're definitely wild and crazy.
Wilkinson back to throw. Wilkinson looks downfield and overthrows the intended receiver, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, they're looking to try to get a one-on-one matchup back here on the one receiver side, and the defense is doing a good job of covering it man to man.
So a lot of time left though. 13:45, only down by 1 score. So you got to kick it away here, and back to kick. Pearson Cook. Some late personnel coming on the field for the South. And there's the punch fielded. Going to be a short return. So 13-7 is our score. We got a good one here at Raymond James Stadium as Jabril Muhammad couldn't quite get more than 4 yards. We'll be back, Raymond James Stadium. The 2018 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl is brought to you by Red Zone Prospects. Make it to the Red Zone and score. RedZoneProspects.com. Mohawk Honda, MohawkHonda.com. East Coast Prep will help you prepare for the next level. For more info, go to eastcoastprep.com. Gatorade, fuel your game from beginning to end. Win from within. Gatorade. So Toby Norland in at quarterback, and Norland's going to hang it off, and it looks like Johnny Ford, quick runner. And you know what? I didn't even see the number. I just knew from the running style. That's Johnny Ford. And USF Bull fans, Zach Mensick made
He's
the
a
tackle.
patient runner. They're running power here where they're trying to get that left guard around and leading up with the fullback. He makes a good cut. He's patient, get behind his blockers, sees the hole and takes it.
Yes, nice block by the wide receiver, Joshua Jackson. And I was going to say, USF Bull fans, get excited because Johnny Ford is coming here to play. Exciting stuff. But there's a tackle in the back. And, you know, a little high snap on that shotgun and kind of throws the timing of the play off a little bit, give the defensive line a chance to get in there and make the tackle, so a loss of yardage for the South. But there's some pride in winning this game.
Oh, of course. Anytime you step on the field in competition, you want to win. Whether you're talking about the individual battles that are going to happen over the course of 120 plays in the game, or you're talking about the end result, you want to win.
So the 2nd and 14 play, throw pass is complete on the inside, out over midfield, inside the 45 is Anthony DeCamp. So Norland threaded the needle. That was a nice looking design play, Ron.
Yeah, it was a great throw and catch. You had a little over pursuit in terms of the coverage. The defender, the tackler, the would-be tackler, came over the top of that, leaving himself exposed to the inside. They attacked the seam of the inside part of the defense.
Big play for the North defense. 3rd and 4. Norland's going to throw. He's got a receiver out there, and it cannot make the catch. Is number 5, Joshua Jackson, incomplete. So that's a huge play because for all intensive purposes, you feel like if Jackson makes that catch, the game might be over.
Yeah.
And he just can't quite make it. Here it is right here, and he was there right through his breadbasket. You got to make that catch.
Well, they got what they wanted. They had the one-on-one coverage on the backside, had a good good get-off, got behind the defensive back there, and just got to come up with that catch.
So 4th and 4. The South is going to go for it. I just try to draw them off sides and maybe kick it away. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you got to kick it in this situation.
I would kick it. Oh, we got, what is it, a delay of game, timeout. Yeah, that's probably a good advised timeout by Ernest Graham to talk about this, because this is a big play. And we're getting back to, yeah, I get it, it's a Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. It's, you know, you still want to win the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of pride in winning the game.
I don't think a timeout there is probably the right decision. What I think you should do, because of the field position,
take the delay of game and
take the delay of game.
I agree.
You got to go out there.
It's a free timeout. You get 5 yards for a free timeout. You got a good punter.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason Pierce has been
the issue of punting it from the 45-yard line versus the 50-yard line is the ball. There's a greater likelihood the ball's going to go into the end zone, especially with these guys, with how well they're kicking the ball.
Well, with Diego Hunter back, maybe you want it to go in the end zone. So let's see how this plays out now. And, you know, down by a score, the North is. A touchdown and an extra point, and they take the lead here. So there's the kick, and kind of off the side of his foot. It looked like he was trying to kick it to the corner, but not that. It's going to go out of bounds. White Hat's going to have it, and it's going to be spotted way up here right at the 30-yard line. So that's where the North will have the ball when we come back, trailing by 6. Welcome back here. Tampa Stadium, Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. The North trailing by 6 has the ball. And Luke Bussell is in at quarterback. Bussell's going to drop. Bussell looking to get outside. He's going to throw downfield, and the ball's incomplete. Nice defensive play. Number 15, Jeremiah Salam, who, if you missed it, has over 20 offers. Arizona, Florida Atlantic, Indiana, North Carolina, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Pittsburgh, UCF, USF, Vandy, and Memphis, and more. I mean, it's unbelievable. So what a talent. So made a nice play coming over and breaking up that play. Bring a 2nd and 10 up for the North. So Bustle going to drop again. Bustle throws. He's got a receiver wide open and overthrew him. Just missed it. Incomplete. The intended receiver, Trey Hart, was streaking down the sidelines. A senior from Chandler High School in Arizona, just off his fingertips. And boy, I guess Bustle needed a little bit more air under that. He would have liked to have that one back, Ron.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the corner knew what the heck was going on there either. I don't know if he thought the play was dead or what, but it was a blown coverage.
Up by 6, and you let somebody behind you like that. Wow, could have been a recipe for a disaster. Just overthrown, and there's no one more than Luke Bustle that would like to have that one back. But that's not the way it works. So it's 3rd and 10. Bustle drops. He's going to throw the outlet. Nice little one-handed catch and run. Smacked out of bounds, and a first down is Brody Smith. So a nice little, something like that, Ron, was that a designed swing pass or was it a check down?
Well, I would say it's probably a check down because he's looking downfield. But he knows he's there. That's at least the 2nd or 3rd time they've hit that tonight for big yardage, actually.
And Smith made a nice play, reaching out and catching the ball with one hand. Was led perfectly, which allowed him to get a lot of extra yardage. All the way out to the 44-yard line is the North. And under center, Bustle hands straight ahead to Sean Doyle. Doyle stacked up after a gain of a couple.
Yeah, they're showing some under center, tight wing T type formations, which we saw early on in the game, but we haven't seen in 3.5 quarters.
You know, I said it. The quarterbacks nowadays, especially in high school and even in college, they go in the shotgun so often it looks weird when they go under center.
Yeah, it's a little off-putting.
Yeah,
nowadays.
2nd and 8. Luke Bustle is the quarterback out of Greenbrier Christian Academy in Virginia. Threw for over 1,692 yards. And here's Doyle. Doyle gets outside, or no, Keyshawn Ashford with a carry, excuse me. I was looking at the gaudy numbers. Check this out. Luke Bustle, 1,692 yards, 16 touchdowns, no interceptions. And here's the run. A little tricky exchange there, Ron. Almost got it stuck in there. Or was he trying to pull it out, Bustle?
He might have been. It was definitely kind of an option look, but I think it was a design. I think it was a design give.
So the North is in business. They're in South territory. Under 10 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter, and we got some movement. So that'll cost them 5. So it'll be 1st and 15. So Bustle, all that pans out if the stats on Max Preps are correct. A 131 quarterback rating. No interceptions in the year. That's taking care of the football, huh?
Absolutely.
So 1st and 15 now, back at the 49. There's the handoff. Doyle straight ahead, breaks a tackle. Picked up about 10 yards. And hit and dove across the 40. So that's going to bring up 2nd and short now, and that's a manageable down. So you got the penalty yardage back plus some. So the North trying to get some offense going. It's been very limited tonight. Their one touchdown did come courtesy of a muff punt in a short field. And here's an outside handoff. Ashford gets around the outside and is dragged down. So he turned the corner, but not for anything. So we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Mercedes Owens.
Hey guys, I've got Cameron Holster down here. He's an Army commit. Now, tell me about that decision-making process. Before football, did you ever think you would join the military?
Honestly, no. going into summer, I had no intentions because I was either going to go to Kentucky, Western Michigan, or Bowling Green. But I got offered in June and then went out and visited. It just felt like home and a place for me. So after that, I made the decision.
And founder of Blue Gray Football, Gus Bell, he's actually a decorated Army veteran. I know he talked to you guys last night. Did he say anything inspirational for you or that kind of pulled at your heartstrings?
It was just how much pride military people have, and it's just a brotherhood. So it was really special to hear that from him, and hopefully I can join that brotherhood, eventually be a part of that.
And what are you most looking forward to about college football?
Just to get to play on Saturdays and gets to be in that big environments, playing at Michigan Stadium or Oklahoma Stadium, somewhere like that. It's just really special to play.
Well, Cameron, we're definitely going to keep an eye out for you. Thanks so much for joining us. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Mercedes. And there you go. Going to be an Army cadet. Very admirable.
Yeah, those you got to love the academy guys.
I love watching those games in the stands, the military personnel. It's unbelievable. Here's Doyle straight ahead. Gets nothing stacked up. So while Mercedes was talking to Cameron Holscher, we had a pass interference call that gave him an automatic first down. So it's defensive holding, I'm being told, and there it is. You see it in the bottom left there before the pass was thrown. Incomplete, so the holding call gives him the first down. The North team trailing by 6. Starting to get a little late here in the fourth quarter. So they're down inside the 30-yard line, Ron. They may not get down here again the way things have been going. So the North calls timeout. I want to talk about things. They got 2nd and 10 coming up. And getting back to Luke Bussell. 1,692 yards, 16 touchdowns, no interceptions on the year.
That's a great season.
Yeah, it is. So you got to imagine someone like that. He's going to be playing. So many of these kids, I follow them after this game, and I find out, wow, they signed there. And I know that Sean Siglinski, director of the Blue Gray All-American Bowl, is very good at getting the information out on Twitter and the website on where these guys end up going. And it's really exciting to watch. And, it's really exciting for me, being voice of the Blue Gray All-American Bowl, to meet these kids, meet them in person, and then see where their college career goes and follow their college careers is really exciting and rewarding to me, knowing that I called their last high school game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I like to see the success stories. I like to see the guys fight through the struggle. It's a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun.
So 2nd and 10. Bussell hands off. Doyle straight ahead. Doyle got maybe half a yard. Give him a yard. Give him a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 8.
What are you negotiating?
I know. Ball's on the 28-yard line. We are in the fourth quarter, as you see there. And only down by 6 is the North, so a touchdown and extra point gives them the lead. They have a good kicker, Barrett Pickering, that can kick it to put them within 3 if they have to. Pickering going to Nebraska. And let's talk about Nebraska. Boy, I think I'm going to be a Nebraska Cornhuskers fan with Scott Frost going there. Bussell's going to drop back. Bussell throws, and it's intercepted inside the 5. Picked off. Taken back, good return. Flags fly, another flag flies. So there's blocks in the back, but Lance Boykin going to Old Dominion. Picked it off. And Ron, I know it's easy for us to say up here in the booth, but that was a very ill-advised throw.
Yep.
Double coverage back there. Ball never had a chance of being a completed pass. So that's a big play for the South, and if they can get in here and run the ball, they can go away with a victory, I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, absolutely. They all you need to do is get a few first downs, keep the clock running. The North only has 2 timeouts left, so clock management's definitely going to play a part in this, and they really haven't had a whole lot of success, obviously, getting past the 40-yard line, the 30-yard line, although they have moved the ball somewhat. It just seems to stall when it gets down to the 35, 30-yard line, give or take.
Well, they had good field position with the special teams return. Diego Hunter has been really good giving them field position after kicks and punts, but they just haven't moved the ball. That was one of the more actually impressive drives. But these illegal blocks, are going to back the ball all the way back up inside the 10, so that totally negates the good return by Boykin. But, you got a 6-point lead, and you turn to your big guys up front, the big eaters, and say, hat on hat, let's run the football.
Absolutely.
So South takes over. Handoff straight ahead. And, we're going to take a look at this pick. And ball was totally overthrown into double coverage. There's 3 guys back there, Ron.
Oh, yeah.
So when Boykin got the interception and the good return, we had the illegal block. 2-yard run. It's 2nd and 8. And there's Johnny Ford. Ford's going to try to get to the outside, and the ball's on the ground. There's a scramble for it, and then the North comes up with it. This is going to be huge, and they do. The North recovers the fumble, and now they're back in business, and the North fans roar across from us. So, wow, what a turn of events, and Johnny Ford having a good game, but boy, you got to take care of the football, and here's to take a look at it. I think it was stripped out. He's trying to turn the corner. And what a nice defensive play by number 21, Zach Minsink. Or was that Johnson? We have 2 21s, I think, on the team. Amani Johnson. Yeah, we have 2 21s on defense on the North. So excuse me. Amani Johnson out of Hercules High School, the Hercules Titans in California, comes up with the biggest defensive play of the game with the tackle and the strip. So down by 6. Luke Bussell comes back in at quarterback. Bussell's going to throw. Bussell swings it out, and it's incomplete, intended for Brody Smith. And that's that little swing play that they did earlier that went for big yardage. And Bussell just kind of forced it a little bit, or rushed it, I think. He had time to make a better throw. So that'll bring up 2nd and goal, as the ball is right at the 10-yard line. And if you could look at a moral victory for the South, the North got the ball right at the 10-yard line, so they got to go the full 10 yards. And I think a field goal is, I don't know. There's still a lot of time left, but I think you got to go. I think it's 4-down territory.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? It's absolutely 4-down territory. I think I don't think they should be throwing the ball. In fact, I think they should be trying to wind the clock.
And here it is to Hunter. They get it outside. Hunter makes a spin move at the 10 and gets inside the 5. And the ever dangerous Diego Hunter getting him involved in the offense. And that was a nice looking little play to Hunter. And it's going to bring up 3rd and goal from about the 3-yard line. So I look for a run here, Ron. You got two downs to make 3 yards. That's what we're looking at.
And even if they fail in scoring the touchdown, putting the South team in this position, it's a tough, it's a bad situation to be in so many ways. Because one, they've got to keep the ball out of the end zone, and if they are unable to pick up a 1st down or any yards, they've got to punt out of the end zone, which is one of the toughest things to do.
There's Doyle. Somebody grabbed a hold of jersey. Looked like it was 35. Dorian Gooch. We Believe in Me, Tampa Catholic, grabbed a hold of Doyle and held on, holding Doyle to only a gain of a yard, and that's huge because now it's 4th and goal from the 2. And we got a timeout. Of course we do. We got to talk about this. This is very important, and it's the South that calls timeout. So I would say the play of the game so far for both teams. So we have some drama coming up here from Raymond James Stadium. 6-point lead for the South, but the North 4th and 2, knocking on the door. We're in for a big finish here in Tampa as it's 4th and 2 for the North. They trail by 6. Brody Smith in the backfield. Russell's going to throw to Smith, a little behind him, and he's being tackled for a big loss. And the South will take over. Jordan Dominic with the defensive play. And Ron, you're shaking your head. I think I know why.
I just think that's the worst call you could have possibly made there. They're going to run the play out wide and deep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's nothing positive about that play. You want to keep the ball in the middle or down the field so that you don't lose yards. The worst thing that could have happened there is a turnover. The second worst thing that could have happened was a loss of yards.
He threw the ball back to the 9-yard line. He threw the ball backwards 7 yards.
Just make the ball go forward.
Yeah, because and then, like you said, like we talked about a little bit before the break and into the break, if you stop, I mean, now the South has a little bit of breathing room on the 7-yard line.
Let's say best case scenario, they don't move the ball at all. They now have 15 yards to punt. And the type of punt that they're running, it's a 12-yard snap. So you have 3 yards behind you to run it. If you were to run what most teams are running nowadays, you're still lining up at 15 yards. So it's not, you don't even need to adjust your punt formation. The benefit of running the ball in that situation from the 1 or 2 or 3 yard line, whatever yard line they were on, and not gaining a yard is you shorten up where they have to punt
from. Great point.
That messes up everything. I mean, they have some great long snappers out here, so it probably wouldn't have been a big issue, but it's a layer of the game that was just totally removed.
So Norland in at quarterback, and there's another stack-up stop by the North, and it looks like McKnight got the carry. So just what the doctor ordered as far as 2 defensive stops. Now it's 3rd down, and the North is going to burn one of those 2 timeouts. So this is far from over, Ron, but you bring up a great point about shortening the field. I mean, you got a 4th and 2. Let's say you gain a yard, they're on the 1. Let's say you lose a yard, you're still on the 3.
Yeah.
So here's the play, Ron, and like you said, look where Smith catches the ball. It was on the 9-yard line, and it was thrown behind him. So it was a poorly, and you know what?
And it would have been a fumble had he dropped it.
Because it was a backward pass? Wow. So, you look at that, a play like that, it opens up such a large margin of error for execution. You run straight ahead, there's not much you can screw up. You hold on to the ball, and the chances are you're going to
get back to the line of scrimmage.
Back to the line of scrimmage, worst case scenario.
And they're lining up in these sort of wing T type formation where the fullback is setting at about 1.5 yards. So the mesh point is happening at the line of scrimmage. At the line of scrimmage,
so right.
You're not going to lose.
If you get a 2-yard push, you're in the end zone.
Protect the football, at least get back to the line of scrimmage, force them to play small ball. Force them to eliminate a whole part of their game plan or win the game.
Well, that big North defensive line going to get stout now. Noah Palmer's in there with Jack Kern, Christian Lappin. So Nolan's going to hand the ball off, and the North is going to get their 4th down stop, or their 3rd down stop. Going to bring up 4th down, and the punt team will have to come on the field with plenty of time left. You see there are over 2 minutes left here in Tampa, so we're far from over in the ever so dangerous Diego Hunter out of Eastern View High School in Virginia, back to receive, standing on the 50-yard line. Along with Keyshawn Ashford. He's back there as well, and punting from his own end zone is Jason Pierce. Pierce going to hit it just inside the goal line, and Hunter's going to have a chance. Hunter's across midfield, and he's up just over the 40-yard line. Good field position, 1 timeout for the North. A minute 23 left, down by 6. We got a good finish here, Ron.
And heck, if they would have kicked the field goal, they could be going for the tie right now.
Wow, wow, that's right.
Now, that would have gone into my logic. I would have still did exactly what I said.
Correct.
Run the ball.
I agree.
Put him in a bad situation, make him nervous, make him sweat. But heck, they could be going for the tie right now.
Wow, yeah, sure. There would have been an extra point,
Jeez.
Yeah, how many times?
So Cross Wilkinson in at quarterback, the Toledo quarterback, and we mentioned earlier he threw for over 2,400 yards this year, his senior year at Wheeling Park High School. So, he's got an arm. Wilkinson looks back, gets a little pressure, being chased by Dominic. And Wilkinson's going to get out of bounds, and that's got to be a late hit. It is. Oh, boy, right in front of head coach Ernest Graham. He's not going to like that. Wow, late hit, and that was clearly late by Jordan Reese.
Well, it's one of those things, I've kind of fallen into that category back in my playing days. If I'm going to run that far, somebody's getting hit. Somebody's going to get hit.
Well, just cost his team 15 yards.
Yeah, I had a few of those.
Here's the replay coming up. If we can see it, I'll tell you, Jordan Dominic was running like crazy. The USF commit.
Better
Good
tuck
play.
that ball away.
And there's the hit. He was going out of bounds. It was close, but still, I think it was a good call.
Yeah, they're going to call that no matter what.
Yeah.
He's going out of bounds. There's no reason.
Especially a quarterback.
Especially a quarterback.
Another 15, 20 years, a quarterback do two-hand touch. So 21-yard line, 1st and 10. Boy, what a great finish. One of the more memorable Blue Gray All-American Bowls, certainly that we have called around. Wilkinson, ball's on the ground. Wilkinson picks it up and throws, and it's Diego Hunter makes the catch inside the 15-yard line. So positive yardage as we wind down to a minute. Still have that timeout left. It's going to bring up 2nd down for the North.
Watch out, guys.
So Wilkinson in at quarterback. 10 seconds left on the play clock. Plenty of time. The snap off. Wilkinson drops. Wilkinson throws the end zone in a bunch of people. Incomplete. Hit the ground. But wow. Cross Wilkinson got away with that one, huh? Wow. Unbelievable, Ron.
Yeah, that was dangerous throw. Kind of almost the same situation as before, where they intercepted it. He almost came down with it, too.
Wow, yeah.
Jeez.
Right there, Lance Boykin, the Old Dominion commit, almost came up with a big pick to seal the game. But play goes on, 3rd and 3 now. Do you try to maybe run and get the first down? Too dangerous, huh? One timeout, and Wilkinson has it. Wilkinson's going to throw to the end zone. An incomplete pass interference, one of the more obvious calls you'll see. And of course, they're trying to get it to the playmaker. I'm telling you, this Diego Hunter is drawing penalties. I'll tell you, what a play. And wow, so we're going to get half the distance to the goal here, right? Or they play the college rule to the 1, Ron. What are they going to do? Let's see what they do. And here's the replay, one of the more obvious pass interference calls.
It might have been.
You'll see.
Almost a face mask.
Yeah, right?
1st down and goal.
So they do. They move it to the 2. It's going to be 1st and goal from the 2-yard line.
The game like at all times.
With 25 seconds left to go. Down by 6 is the North. A touchdown ties the score. And here's Sean Doyle straight ahead, and Sean Doyle gets ahead for a yard, but he's stacked up. So that'll wind the clock inside 20 seconds, and they're going to have to burn that timeout, and they do. With 14 seconds left on the clock. Well, gentlemen, we have a good one here tonight.
Yeah, it's really turned into something special the last 5 or 6 minutes of this game. It's really.
You know what's something is it's kind of it's ending where it started off.
Yep.
The muffed punt, same end zone down to our right, and wow, little Steppenwolf in the background, keep the crowd going. Wow, 13-7. What a game tonight. So 2nd and goal from the 1. You have no timeouts. Ron, what do you do?
Oh, jeez.
A tough call. You have no timeouts.
Well, if you're going to throw it, I think you throw a high ball in the corner of the end zone.
You don't want to throw a pick. You throw a pick, the game's over. And, throwing from the 1 yard line of scrimmage, the 1 yard line, tight.
And I'm probably going to find number 15, and I'm going to throw away from him.
Yeah.
And that's going to give you an opportunity to run the ball on the last down.
So there they go, quarterback sneak, and he doesn't get in. He did not get in. Cross Wilkinson did not get in.
Well, the defense better get back because the offense has a chance here.
A chance to spike the ball or run again. He's going to run it again, and he looks like he's in the end zone. Touchdown! Cross Wilkinson scores for the North. And what an unbelievable finish as time runs out here at the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. But, folks, not so fast. We got an extra point coming up. It's tied. The game is tied. It is not over. So what an unbelievable play of events. I thought he was going to spike it.
Yeah.
I think the defense did too. So here's the replay. And it's where they sat and they just tried. Dorian Gooch tried to keep Wilkinson out of the end zone.
The defense was too busy celebrating to realize that, you know what, there's still another play here. The offense they can run a play and the defense be offsides.
The extra point for the win is good and the game is over. Sorry, Ron, I had to cut you off because how many times does an extra point win the game? Very, very few and far between. And that's our final. The North wins 14-13 in dramatic fashion. As you see the North celebrating as Keyshawn Ashford is doing somersaults. Wow. So let's watch. Let's see if we can get these replays here, Ron, and watch a couple quarterback sneaks. How often do you see back-to-back quarterback sneaks in a hurry-up offense? This is incredible. Here we go. So here's Cross. Wilkinson does not get in. And there, you said, Ron, they start celebrating, and they got to get back on sides.
That's a great job by the
Diego Hunter getting the ball back to the official to get in and play.
By the North squad. That's heads up. That's smart. That's a good, strong football IQ.
Wow. So yeah, that subtlety of the ball being on the ground and Diego Hunter picking it up and giving it to, and Arlen Harris got the Gatorade bath or water bath or some kind of liquid bath tonight, and that's got to be cold.
Yep.
As we see the handshake, and boy, I'll tell you, what a great time and a great finish. Dramatic fashion. Want to thank you, Ron, our color analyst, Mercedes Owens, Travis Faley, our spotter, Gus Bell and Sean Solinsky of the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl, and Dave Harris from Tupelo Raycom Sports, our producer tonight. Just what an unbelievable finish. These are you couldn't write a script up better than this for this finish tonight.
No, that's the best finish to one of these games that I think I've ever witnessed. That's a great finish.
That's a great finich at any level.
Yep.
Whatever it is, and to get to call it here on ESPN was just a great feeling and a great time. And congratulations, once again, the final score, the North 14, the South 13, in dramatic fashion, the 2018 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl from Tampa, Florida. We bid you a good night. Thank you.